Now fix.
Excellent.
Oh boy.
No good?
Okay, we are good. Now, what was the hotkey to pull up health bars? Because those are not on here.
V will do it temporarily.
H, there we are.
H turns it on and off?
I believe so. I pressed it and they are up now.
Huh, cool. Good to know. All right. Regardless, that probe got a kill, man. That probe killed an SCV. And he's trying to get away from the Marine here. And Gumiho is on Team Cloud9 right now. So representing Cloud9 is Gumiho. And yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Avenges that SCV. Well done, Mr. Marine.
So the probe gets a kill, but then it dies itself, which kind of nullifies the beauty of getting the kill in the first place. Yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. We did want to do it on the new patch. The main issue was that I didn't have it downloaded, so because I just assumed it was an extension mod like the previous patch, but no. So that means that my game had to process the whole Starcraft 2 download.
Which took a minute.
It did. Fortunately,
it's too long, though.
Yeah, fortunately it's not like the year 2000 in which it would have taken like 3 days.
Right. No, 20 gig in the year 2000 would have taken like a month and a half. That is so much data for back then.
Okay, so
all right.
Trap is
depths are out, pushing on in. We got a lot of Marines though. Blink is on the way from Trap, and Widowmine is in process for Gumiho.
Yeah, Gumiho tried to set a little bit of a, no pun intended, but a trap to catch those adepts, and he was able to get one of them, but it did cost him 3 Marines, so whether that was worth it is up in the air.
I'm gonna say it was. Yeah, I think that was good.
Yeah, as a Protoss player, I think I'm okay with that, because it means the Terran has 3 less Marines for any sort of push or any early aggression.
That is true.
Yeah, we'll have to keep that.
Is a true fact. So it's going to be a Widowmine drop here from Gumiho, which Trap has seen 5,000 times in the last 12 months.
Don't mind me just turning that on so we can hover over these new abilities and actually read them. Although this overlay is still not letting me do that, so womp womp to that. Okay, so yeah, the main new ability for Protoss is that energy overcharge, which gives a building or it gives a unit. What is it? An extra 100 energy, I want to say?
I think it's 50.
No, it's got to be more than 50.
50 energy. You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I'm wrong though, but
yeah, we got order shield battery overcharge for this energy recharge capability. Nicely done, sniping that Widowmine. And 2 probes for 2 hits. He's retargeting it.
Oh, I love this.
Retargeting it, and then just settles for 1 probe, and that is good enough for Trap. And then, bam. So well defended there is the Widowmine drop is Trap. Because, again, he sees it all of the time. Oh, anti-armor missile being researched super early from Gumiho. Wow. Sub 5 minutes. What is going on here?
Yeah, that is quite an early upgrade. It's not an expensive one for the Terran, but it does kind of indicate that he wants to get a little bit aggressive, maybe hit some sort of timing attack. Now, in this new patch, one of the things is that with that energy overcharge, it's that Protoss can pretty much toss out Hallucinated Phoenix non-stop, 24/7. And that gives them a lot of information on what the Terran is doing. So instead of... I guess the idea is in this new patch that no Protoss should be surprised by a Terran timing attack or anything like that. Or that seems to at least be a feature. We'll see if that works in practice, because sometimes you know that Terran's timing attacks are coming anyway, and you just die anyway, so...
Yeah, well, it's like you know they're coming, but shield battery overcharge is gone, so they're harder to hold. So
yeah.
It's a trade-off, yeah.
We do have very, very quick High Templar and Psystorm out of Trap. This is playing into the new patch as well. High Templar, they can get a lot of energy very quickly thanks to that upgrade, and a couple of Psystorms can be game-changing.
Yeah, having a lot of storms earlier is very helpful in holding off any kind of Terran timing attack. And can we get this tank?
Oh, he does get it. Beautiful micro by Trap.
And did he lose didn't even lose a stalker there. Wow, that was incredible by Trap.
He does lose an observer, unfortunately, but a tank for an observer, I think he'll take that trade as the Protoss. We've got Medivac loaded up with 7 Marines. They don't have stim or anything, so this is perhaps the weakest drop you could go for as a Terran player at this point in the game. He can force a cancel on that pylon, and I think that's all he's going to get because there's Blink Stalkers in tow, so Gumiho wants to get out of there. I believe that was a kill on the pylon, actually, so that's quite nice.
Yeah, big win for sure there for Gumiho, and he's making his push. Got his Marines, got his Marauders. Concussive Shell is not going to be a part of this attack, but Dim is done. +1 attack finishing up. And yeah, those High Templar are primed for Storm here.
Yeah, this guy's got 2 Size Storms in it, which is a lot of energy. It can also potentially be a feedback on the Raven, so Gumiho's going to have to use those spells as quick as he can before a feedback lands. There's 1 Size Storm zoning out this Terran army. We'll see if there's going to be more.
Yeah, trying not to get baited into these Widow Oh, no!
Beautiful micro.
Both of them. Beautiful. Okay, Guardian Shield is up here. Auto turrets get tossed down. Pretty far away from the engage, though, so that's okay. I think Trap is all right with you throwing down auto turrets like 5 miles away from his 3rd base. That's totally awesome. And Gumiho seems to be pulling back.
Yeah, the Size Storm just a big enough threat to keep the Terran away. Trap is now trying to go for a Size Storm drop as he drops 1 High Templar at the 3rd base. Zealots are going into the main base. Some Widow Mines are going to burrow to try and help clean this up. We'll deal with one of the Zealots.
Get a hit. That was really nice.
There's the High Templar, though, and it's ready to drop some Size Storm. Gumiho's like, how do I go about cleaning this up when there's that absolute bomb of a High Templar hanging around? He is trying to target down the Prism a little bit, but he's already lost 10 SCVs. Medivacs are bringing in more Terran bio units. He's trying to target down the Prism, and he may yet get it. Still, though, 10 dead SCVs is nothing to scoff at.
No, but he got the High Templar, got the Warp Prism, which is big, because no more further harassment can be done without another Warp Prism. So I think Gumiho's fairly happy about that. He does have mules, after all.
Yeah.
PTR did not remove them.
He does still have mules. I think he's going to need ghosts as soon as he can possibly get them, though, because look at these High Templar. 3 fully loaded High Templar, with a 4th one that's building up energy as well for Trap.
Yeah, looking good. That income tab does say we're about even on economy, even after the loss of those SCVs, just because, again, mules are helping out. And even economy for a Terran player is a fine place to be against a Protoss. They'll get some really good value here. Yeah. Out of the Marines, out of the Marauders. Question is, how good are the Storms going to be, as always?
That is a big question. Gumiho's going to have to micro this bio very well. He actually scans to see that Protoss army. He knows there's High Templar there. And as a result, we do see 3 ghosts on the way. So Gumiho's transitioning to a counter for that. He's also had a bit of a drop get off at the 3rd, but narrowly escaped with those Medivacs.
Yeah, that Medivac has about 20 hit points on it. So yeah, dangerous stuff. Trying to push in here at the 4th base as well. The expansion timings from Trap have been pretty great. He's on 4 bases already, 66 workers. Gumiho's on 3, and he has started up his own 4th base as well on site of the 3rd. So he will be behind a base, which is A-okay. That means we're even at this stage of the game. And a Robotics Bay is warping in here from Trap. I'm going to say Colossus. Nice Widow Mine hit there on the Zealot. And Concussive Shell slowing him down. I think he got away there. And yeah, a lot of destructible rocks on Amygdala. That is certainly the case.
Yeah, more Zealots moving towards the left-hand side. That's going to be enough to force this Terran army back. One Medivac goes down. The other does escape, full of units, which is nice for Gumiho. He's now potentially going to be able to catch these units. The Trap is trying to hide them, but they are stuck here. The rest of the Protoss army is coming in potentially to just take this fight. It's kind of on Gumiho's terms. He's got so many ghosts here. They're ready to drop EMPs. He probably wants to scan this army and start EMPing or sniping as soon as possible.
Yeah, those Archons especially are really vulnerable to those EMPs. We've got 2 Colossus in production with Extended Thermal Lance just getting started here. And yeah, so 2 command centers are being built. He's planning to mass expand, and Trap is back home, except for these charge lots. And another War Prism has been built. What's up, John Solo? Glad you can be at home for this tournament. What is going on? How's it going? And warping in charge lots inside of Gumiho's base here. Nobody likes to see charge lots warping inside your main base. Protoss, Terran, or Zerg. EMPing those zealots as well. And man, there are so many destructible rocks being taken down in this game.
There really is. It's a shame they don't show up on the unit's loss count, because there's been a lot of dead rocks. We have Gumiho having to respond to this Protoss army. Is there the EMPs that we need to see? There they land on all but one of the High Templar, and Trap may have overextended a little bit. There's also a full energy Raven to pounce on top of this Protoss army. So while Trap has done a good job not taking damage this game, he just did a big overcommitment, it seems. Widow Mines are now going to connect on what's left of this Protoss army. The Terran bio is up 30 supply compared to his opponent. Now, Gumiho did lose a third base during that, but he's got 2 extra command centers, and Trap may just die to this. He's going to have to muster as much of an army as possible. Looks like he does have a High Templar.
Oh, Raven got picked off by a cannon there. That sucks. Yeah, 1 Colossus against all of this. A little bit of Storm to assist for sure. Ooh, that energy recharge just got popped onto one of those High Templar. We could see that. That was great. It looks like some more SCVs are back home in Gumiho's base too. And at the third base, causing all sorts of issues. Production facilities are getting canceled and killed during their construction phase, which is very, very bad for Gumiho. And then more SCVs inside of the natural base here. And yeah, Gumi has to pull back and deal with it. So Trap has a little bit more time to prepare.
Oh my gosh. Look at how oversaturated that planetary fortress is. SCVs were hiding in the one safe place they had. Now, Trap bought himself a lot of time with that.
Yeah, sure did. He's got a gold base rolling. His army's back up to 70, making more Colossus. I'm not sure. The Colossus that he had in that first engagement died pretty much immediately. Didn't get a lot done, but he only had 2 of them, and they were split. So
yeah,
third Colossus, if they're together, that's going to be really nice. And DTs, let's go. Oh, they got scanned, and they're getting EMP'd and concussive shelled, and never mind.
Yeah, good eye.
A lot of investment for nothing.
Good eye by Gumiho to see those DTs were there. He now plops down some turrets. He's building more ghosts, because you can never really have enough ghosts as the Terran. Now, Trap, he does have these Colossus out, which do kind of require a Viking response, and Gumiho is lacking on that front. He's only got 2 Vikings. He's making 4 at a time right now, so in a minute or 2 he'll have enough to deal with this. But this is 4 Colossus coming on in. Trap may be hitting a nice timing here.
Yeah, falling back a little bit here.
More rocks being worked on.
I was just going to say. That is 5 Colossus, man. And Vikings are coming in 4 at a time.
Yeah, 5 Colossus is good until your opponent does have like 15 Vikings.
Right. They die real fast at that point.
Right now, Gumiho only has 6 Vikings, though, and he's actually paused production on them for a minute, maybe not realizing how serious the Colossus threat is for himself. He's going to realize how serious it is in a second, as Trap is just waltzing on in towards this planetary. SCVs will have to repair that now. This is a good spot for the Terran to fight on that planetary fortress, where he's got that as something to soak a lot of the damage. Vikings are getting shots off on the Colossus, along with EMPs hitting a lot of this Protoss army. The Vikings have taken down 2 of the Colossus. Still, though, 3 remain, but the Protoss army does get routed. Vikings are going to try and grab another Colossus. Looks like the Marauders will do the rest of the work.
Yeah, and we're back down to 85 to 54 army supply in favor of Gumiho. DTs are getting some work done here. Mules, SCVs going down. Turrets, the natural enemy of a Dark Templar for sure. Going to get taken down there too. The planetary did die. It is 87 to 40 workers in favor of Trap, but the army value is so far ahead of Trap now in Gumiho's favor that let's see if he can hold off this counterattack. Nice EMP to get started.
Yeah, Trap is just going to have to buy as much time as possible. He just got a huge, huge Size Storm on the Terran army. Gumiho gets softened up so much with that, and now all of a sudden he's in full-on retreat, so his army supply lead has really been nullified. Most of his supply is in the red or in medivacs. He's just going to tap out as Trap gets the Size Storm to get the game.
Oh. Storm, good unit, man. Dude lost like 20 Colossus that game, I swear, but it didn't really matter. The Storm was what mattered. That energy overcharge for those High Templar were really useful several times in that game during pushes. And yeah, Trap able to hang on, able to do that ton of damage to that planetary. Gumiho was trying to repair that planetary, and it died. And a lot of SCVs that are trying to repair it died with it, and that was massive, I think. So worker count, not great for Gumiho there at the end. Army value, yes, but the Storm nullified that, and Trep gets the game 1 win. That was amazing. Whew, yeah, definitely a really fun map. Joel there, what's up? Glad you're seeing the new patch. Glad you're seeing the new maps.
1 second, I'm just getting as our old overlay, except it's saying that the game's installed on a drive that it's clearly not there. 1 sec. That's probably my mistake.
Mysterious. Yeah, thanks everyone for being here at SOOP, Starcraft, Global number 7. Gumiho, Trap, Classic, and Cure are all here. We do have a Matcherino link that you can use. Oh, wait. Reloaded the chat. Let's see if we can get that Matcherino link. I'm not sure.
Okay, we got Game Heart back.
Ooh, nice. That's good.
I believe. Let me just select that. There we go. Game Heart overlay locked and loaded.
Sweet.
Ley lines, LC. I don't want to keep these guys waiting too much more. They've been very, very patient with us, thankfully.
Yep, they have been very cool for sure. Okay, so I think... Yeah, no. Yeah, this is it. Today's the 8th. Can I paste the Matcherino link? I can. I'm a moderator.
Yeah.
So there's the Matcherino link. Log in. Again, you can log in with Battle.net, Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitch, X, Discord, Microsoft, and Line. So sign in with one of those things. You have one of those things. Do a claim code. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. Very simple, very easy. Do it. Support the tournament. Support these players, okay? Okay. There's the Matcherino. Check it out.
All right, both players are ready, so we're just going to load on into the next game. Hey, Gemini in chat, of course, seeing as how we've got a trap match. You tend to be up to date on community things. Do you know if there's an extension mod for this PTR patch?
PTR?
Because it seems there isn't, which is why we had the delayed start today, being my mistake.
Yeah, so game 2 is here on Ley Lines, which is kind of a fun name.
Yeah.
If I understand correctly, ley lines refer to like magical lines underneath the Earth's crust, and if they converge, then it's a place of powerful magic, according to the books that I've read or that in the fantasy genre. So
cool. What series is that?
Dresden Files in particular.
Oh, okay.
So it's modern fantasy. It takes place in current day, but definitely a lot of magic running around. It's
Oh, neat.
An Anne Rice kind of a thing.
Okay. In the top right, representing Cloud9, it's Gumiho.
And in the bottom left, it's our blue Protoss. It is, bam, Trap. Here is our guy blocking off a Reaper hop-up spot, looking very nicely done here. We do have some breakable rocks on this map, but only 2 instead of like 47 on the last map for some reason.
Yeah, there was rocks were the real losers in that previous match.
They were. So many rocks got murdered for no reason. Actually, no, it did open up some attack paths there for sure, but that's the idea. Hit that like button here on the stream too. Create an account, log in, thumbs up the stream, do all sorts of great stuff. It's, you know, it's the nice new SOOP site. It's an upgrade from the old Afrika thing, and you know, log in, make an account, do the needful.
Pardon me as I just... is that a bug in the latest thing, or do I have some setting off? Because, for example, if I hover, it's not showing that SCVs are building on this command center unless I hover over it. Oh, it's because I have health bars off. My mistake.
Oh, right.
That didn't save.
Problem again. Right. All right, so Reaper on the way, no big deal here from Gumiho. Actually, weird to get a Reaper in this matchup. Hard to get any probe kills with it based on the openings that Protoss have been rolling with, and going to be hard now too, but good for scouting at the very least. See, like, an Adept is on the way. Adepts are a good answer to the Reaper shenanigans, getting Warp Gate too.
There we are.
And so far, all is good here for both players. Nobody's proxying, nobody's being cannon rushed or anything along those lines. Quick factory from Trap, though. I'm sorry, from Gumiho. Did I say Trap? I meant Gumiho.
Yeah. The Trap can't build. Trap can't build factories. We figured it out.
He wishes. That Adept gonna get out. Where's the shade? One more shade? No, doesn't go for it. Trap does not. I think he thought he got double backed on there, but he didn't. So second CC being built inside the main base, which is a luxury afforded to Terrans only.
A lot of respect by Gumiho doing this.
I don't know what he's worried about. Like, he's scouted. He knows it's like an Adept and a Stalker. It's not going to do anything. But I guess he's not really building anything that can stop that either, so... Fair enough, man. Cyclone on the way. That'll stop it. And there's another Blink. First upgrade of the day coming in here for Trap is the Blink one. And why? Because it's really good. Did they do anything to Blink in the PTR?
I don't believe they did. I think Blink remained untouched.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Which makes sense. Blink is one of the things that Protoss really had going for them. And I think was in a good spot. It's not like Terrans were losing tournaments to Protoss players with a couple Blink Stalkers.
No, definitely not. Zerg definitely isn't either. So there was an amazing game between Hero and Rogue, I want to say, at a GSL last year.
Yeah.
Like crazy Blink Stalker all in off of 2 bases.
Yeah.
And there was like this Blink pressure that lasted for like 10 minutes. It was crazy.
Yeah, Hero was definitely popping off around then, that's for sure.
Yeah. Rogue's barely getting Banelings out and like Hydras and Lings and just barely hanging on to his third base. It was crazy. And then I think it was one mistake from Hero. He just blinked in, caught like 4 Banelings on a group of Stalkers, and like that was it. It's this tiny little ledge they were on, and he just got pushed off, and Rogue came back and won. But it was really close there. It was a crazy game.
Yeah, now
gotta love Hero, man.
We've got Trap with 3 Nexa this game, Blink about to finish up, and an Observer moving out across the map, so we can bully Gumiho a little bit. This is why we've got a bunker going up for Gumiho. He's got some units in the main, a second siege tank about to pop out, so he's really playing defensive. And that's exactly what you need to do against Protoss players doing this. And look at that.
I realized Gumiho went for anti-armor missile super early last game and didn't use it.
No, he didn't. He didn't hit any sort of timing or anything.
He used all of his energy for auto turrets and then like ran it into a cannon and lost it. Good snipe on that obs though.
Yeah, really great snipe.
Because those guys were ready to blink inside that main. I mean, Gumiho looked fairly ready for it, but still, Trap might have given it a try. But he lost the obs, so we can't now.
Yeah, as the Terran, you're very happy with that. It gives you peace of mind. And Gumiho, he will have total peace of mind in just a minute here once his Stimpack's done. He's already got +1 weapons about to finish up, so nice timing on that. And then he'll be able to start moving out on the map. With his 3 racks play, he's yet to commit to extra racks or a 3rd command center, so we'll see which way it's going to go. Who knows, maybe he'll throw up 2 extra racks and a Ghost Academy. That remains to be seen, though.
Yeah, that Psionic Storm here from Trap, it was really important for the win in Game 1, so that being a big deal here would not be too surprising. But yeah, just ye old Marines, Marauders, Siege Tanks, Combat Shield, Concussive Shell, all sorts of stuff is happening here.
Trap is investing in shield batteries at his natural and his 3rd base. He always has the option to pop that new ability on those, although he has already used it on one of his High Templar, so he's going to have at least a few Psystorms to help defend against this push. Gumiho is committing to a 3rd base behind this, getting up the extra racks. We'll see if the Red Terran can get anything done or bait Trap into a bad fight.
Oh, great Storm, whittling a lot of the HP off of those Marauders. The Marines were held back, though. Recognizing that Storm was coming, Cyclone dies. Charge lots on top of your Marauders is not what you want to see there at all. Gumiho falling back a little bit to the Siege Tanks. Trap not overextending, not getting dragged into those tank shots, and a Zealot does pause construction on the 3rd base from Gumiho. If not, maybe get it canceled outright. We'll have to see.
Yeah, another nice Psystorm from Trap, even storming the tanks. I mean, the bio supply just wasn't here to hold on against this, although he is going to grab the Immortal before he eventually gets pushed back. He will be pushed back, though, thanks to his Zealot Warpin. So all in all, not a bad trade from Gumiho. He did kill off the 3 High Templar, took out the Immortal. That leaves the Protoss player with nothing but Gateway units and another Immortal that just popped out.
Yep. 1 Immortal, not as good as 2, that's for sure. War Prism getting fired up from Trap. Maybe a few more charge lots warped into Gumiho's base. Those were really effective in game 1 as well. And so far, so good. I mean, we thought maybe Shield Battery Overcharge would be the death of Protoss, but that game 1 went well. He's using the new energy recharge ability very effectively here in game 2 as well.
Yeah, I am concerned for Trap, though. His supply is quite low. He's trying to get away with a 4th base, but it's just not going to happen. There is 4 High Templar out. Really, only one of them has significant energy. A nice Zealot run by does hit the 3rd base. Marauders and SCVs are pretty slow at killing Zealots. At least there's a Medivac to heal up some of these SCVs, but still, 8 go down in all.
Yeah, 8 going down is way more than Gumiho wanted there. Is actually falling back, allowing that 4th base of Trap to come up no problem. More High Templar getting warped in. Attack upgrade at level 1 coming in from Trap for his ground units, and Gumiho working on 2-2 for his Marines and Marauders. Really nice upgrade timings from him.
Yeah.
Is that Warp Prism hitting up the left side?
It is indeed. Trap with his Zealots, as he likes.
Gumiho coming down the right side, and Trap going up for a warp in into the main base with Zealots on the left side.
Yeah, Gumiho has a nice upgrade advantage. However, Psystorm doesn't care about upgrades, and there's no ghosts in sight for the Terran player yet, so we can be a little bit concerned. 2 Widowmines did just pop out to potentially help deal with this Prism. There's some Medivacs coming back as well. We'll see how much damage this Zealot harassment gets done. SCVs are running around.
Yeah, a lot of lost mining time here inside the main base for sure. On the other side of it, that is an awful lot of Marine and Marauder. Gumiho doesn't actually push the advantage, decides to fall back even further.
I think that's wise because his bio is so red right now from having a stim to dodge the Psystorms.
War Prism down into the 3rd base, and Medivacs unloading toots to respond to that. War Prism takes a hit, dies. God, hurts again. Just like in game 1, I'll have to make another one of those. He's got another Robo coming in and a Robotic Support Bay back home.
Yeah, still no Ghost Academy from Gumiho, however, so he's delaying teching into those, which is a little bit odd, I'll say. I mean, he's up against a Protoss player with High Templar, and now Trap is teching into Ghosts, so... or into Colossus, pardon me.
Yeah, Colossus could be Disruptors, too. Disruptors, did they revert the change where they change the size of the Nova to make it smaller?
They did, but then they also did something else to them, which I think they might have. Great Psystorms by Trap, taking out so much of this Terran army. Gumiho's army was really softened up prior to that fight, so the Psystorms just annihilated it. So nice pickoffs by the blue Protoss player. He's then going to find another portion of this Terran army, dropping Psystorm's feedbacks all over that Terran force. 1 Widowmine is going to take out a single High Templar. Trap quickly morphs those other 2 into an Archon.
Gotta do that every once in a while.
Yeah, Gumiho does have himself nice upgrades still. It's 2-2, soon to be against 2-1. So he'll maintain an upgrade lead. He's now finally getting out some Ghosts. And he's got out a couple of Vikings, but he'll certainly need a few more as this Colossus count grows.
So the thing they did with the Disruptor is they changed the Lurker health so that it gets 1-shot by Disruptor Novas instead of 2-shot.
Okay.
I think that's what I was thinking about. Regardless, Gumiho's retreating from a position at his 4th base, falling back to the Planetary. There we go.
Yeah.
They say don't try to engage a Terran at a base where he has a standing army and a Planetary, but Trap did it in the last game and it kind of worked out for him, but this time he's going to fall back a little bit.
Yeah, Gumiho's supply is a little bit concerning as he doesn't have that much bio, partly due to his losses earlier. So Trap's able to bully him a little bit. The Terran player does have Ghosts out now, though, so that can really help negate a supply advantage. What an army by Trap, though.
Yeah, 106 to 60 army supply. Got the Immortals, got the Colossus. This Planetary, I think, is going to get popped. Trap is going for it big time.
Kind of do or die for Gumiho for defending this, but he's not paying attention with his bio. No EMPs of significance really get off. He's just going to type on out as Trap takes the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, big moment there was Trap holding on to the 4th base. Gumiho was pushing at it. He had a big, decent-sized Marine Marauder ball, but as LaughNgamez pointed out, there just wasn't a lot of HP on those dudes. They couldn't stick around long enough to actually take that 4th base down. And Trap rode that advantage to that win there. Nice setup, good attacks, and like you said, Gumiho wasn't quite paying attention during that final engage, and that's going to be enough to murder you more often than not. You got to be really on top of it when Trap's out there with a big, scary Protoss ball. So, nicely done. That's a 2-0 start in this best of 3 in favor of Trap. Gotta say, you know, for all the Protoss fans out there, I gotta be really happy about that, considering the recent history of PvT in Starcraft 2. Yeah, John Solo says, what is up? 2-0 Trap. We're on El Dorado for game number 3. We got the game hard interface in here. Everything is looking good. We are ready to rock. And again, use that Matcherino link. It's up there in the chat. I just posted it. It's like the 4th message up. Go sign up for Matcherino. Log into Matcherino with any number of your logins. The BattleNet login works out there. I mean, that's the only third-party site I've ever seen that lets you log in with BattleNet. I guess you can connect your BattleNet account to Twitch. That's the other one, I guess I would say. But yeah, seeing Trap and doing well is great. He is really doing well, for sure. No real complaints about him whatsoever.
For a player that just recently came back, he's so darn good.
Yeah, up 2-0. Literally can't ask for more.
Okay, both players are in the lobby. And they are ready to go, so away we go. Yeah, I was just checking what Wardy was doing for his PTR tournament. And he's just running with the 6 maps as well, so.
Yeah, it must be it. Ooh, so El Dorado, a bottom left, bottom right spawn map. Let's go. I love it when players spawn on the same side of the map. It's so fun. Curious about what paths we've got down along that southern half. That's going to be something that has to probably be mined out if I had to guess. All right. Bottom right of El Dorado. He's up 2-0. It is Trap.
And in the bottom left of El Dorado, it is Gumiho.
So yeah, let's take a look at real quick. How do you get directly to your opponent's base along the bottom side?
Okay.
How do you do it?
You got a mineral wall there.
Yeah, ramp down to a mineral wall, and then you just walk
further
all
right.
the way.
Another mineral wall.
Wow, that's it? How many minerals in these mineral walls?
I can't click on them until one of the players gets vision of them, unfortunately.
Bummer. It's gotta be a lot. If it's only 2 mineral walls to get to your opponent's back door, that's gotta be... Man, 50 minerals?
It's still a lot, though, because, like... I think they're probably 25s. But
all right. You're probably right.
this mineral wall is 5. Oh, man.
Ooh. Oh, man. That's even easier access to that path, probably, unless these other ones are 5, which
Yeah, just
seems
to a center
untenable.
location. So a scouting worker can mine out that mineral wall and take the Xel'Naga if they wish.
That's pretty awesome for early game. Especially because you can watch that bottom path, too. I mean, look at us just paying so much attention to it, and players probably won't even do anything with it in this game. But maybe they will. Blocking the expansion here from Gumiho, not happy about that. Second SCV comes down, tail as old as time. Just get in there, and man, he's doing such a great job. Crap. And it's really weird, because usually Terrans don't care that much. They just build it off center a little bit, and then lift and land it when it's done. It's not that big of a deal. But Gumiho really wanted that thing on center for some reason today. I guess maybe he's down 2-0, and he's like, I need every advantage I can get, man. Lifting that command center and landing it, taking 2 seconds is too much of an advantage for Trap.
Trap's got this probe circling around, potentially gonna build something, or is it just hanging out?
Like he wants to throw down a pylon really bad. Yeah, look at him patrolling, definitely. And there we go, pylon. Nope, just building more probes and adepts and stuff.
We'll have to keep an eye on that guy. Maybe he's just waiting for his day to charge on into the Terran base. Yeah, Twilight Council already. The probe's gonna just go on in.
It's the storm, man.
He's like,
All about the storm right now for Trap, and I can't say he's wrong.
Oh, it really? Yeah, the storm has been fantastic. I do wonder if Gumiho could have countered it potentially by rushing ghosts even further, but ouch.
Delay on the second phase. Gumiho, man, you got this. It's not a huge delay, but man, 5, 6, 7 seconds really adds up, and finally, it gets tossed down. Adept. Oh, the Adept gets in. Oh, but he cancels the shade because he's like, I don't want to die. He's like, wait, why is this door open? Oh, right, it's a trap, of course.
Okay, we've got a Robo, and there's a Dark Shrine for Trap. That probe may be building a pylon still. Or it'll just be with a prism.
DT shenanigans? Are you kidding?
Yeah, why not? He's up to 0 in a best of 5. Okay, what does Gumiho have? Does he have a Raven on the way? Not yet. However, he is going to land that starport on there. And it should be a Raven. Terrans don't really build Banshees in the matchup at the minute, so that's really nice for Gumiho as a potential answer to this. He's got the 7 Marine drop moving out once more. And it very well may just scout what Trap is going for. And as far as actually something to deal with this drop, there's only 2 Stalkers and 2 Adepts out, so positioning is going to be very important for Trap, and he's actually doing a great job of it. Zoning Gumiho out. He's been denying Gumiho's scout of this Dark Shrine, so there is still potential for these DTs to get something done if the Raven's simply out of position. But the Prism is being chased down by this Medivac.
Get it.
And it's actually going to be found. Is Gumiho going to unload the Marines? Yes, he is, but just unloading them to their death. 3 promptly die. The Raven, however, allows the killing of one of those DTs. Trap's going to have to get out of there with that Prism. Gumiho in pursuit with the Medivac, the Raven. And Trap says, okay, I guess I'll get out of there. The Protoss player, though, he's been floating a bit of money as this delayed his build a little bit, so he's going to start up Blink, morphs an Archon, and going to be a 3rd base on the way.
Yep, loving that timing there from Trap. 3rd base at 5 minutes is right on time. Now getting Blink, so delayed it a little bit for the early shenanigan attempt here. Warp Prism loading up again, heading across that bottom path. Nobody has a Zelnaga Watchtower.
No.
So, I mean, I don't understand why nobody's helping this at all. Looks like Trap decides somebody should have the tower, so I will, at least temporarily. Just tap it, make sure we're good, and then Stalker's heading over to make sure there's no base down there on the low ground, because Terran can lift and land a base there.
Yeah.
So this is a good thing. I like that. I like scouting in and making sure that Gumiho didn't try to sneak a 3rd base there onto that low ground.
Okay, Trap. I'm not sure he's going to get anything done. He's got an Archon and the 2 Stalkers in the Prism. Meanwhile, he's got 3 Stalkers and an Immortal back at home to defend. And the Archon unloads. The Stalkers unload as well, but no damage really getting done.
Yep, so far so good. Immortal production happening. Gumiho's finishing up that combat shield, working on Widow Mines.
Oh, a few probes misrallied. Gonna increase the kills by this drop up to a total of 5, and maybe even more, as where are those units? The sentries and everything else was slacking. A Blink by Trap will almost get the Medivac, but not quite. 2 more Stalkers are in position, but only enough room to get 1 shot off.
That dead airspace is nice along that right side. I'm sure Trap's really mad about that. He's like, why is there so much airspace over there? I guess he can make use of it too with this Warp Prism. Because the shell gets fired up here from Gumiho. Always a good upgrade, never bad.
Gumiho's looking to move out. He senses that Trap is a little weak after that early game shenanigans. Stalkers are moving out to intercept this army. If they can get a nice pick off Could potentially save Trap's bacon, but instead, Gumiho is just closing in on the natural base. An anti-armor missile hits the Immortals, hits some of the Stalkers too. Force fields do get dropped to buy quite a bit of time for the Protoss player. Maybe enough time till this anti-armor missile runs out, which still has about half left on the clock. 5 seconds remaining. And then there's the Prism on the other side of the map, getting some harassment done. The Archon being microed, the Prism staying alive for now, and the Archon does get out. Trap's going to cut his losses with that one. He's still trying to micro and defend on the front against this push.
Yeah, that anti-armor missile was pretty good in that situation, but not quite enough to push it in there. High ground advantage. Force fields are going to be possible here. So Gumiho being extremely careful getting into that natural base.
Look at this. Gumiho knows the Prism is out and about. He's been getting ready to deal with it. Trap doesn't bring it in to try and clean this up. He still moves forward, though, gets the 2 tanks. The Archon is still flying around in the Prism, but it seems Gumiho, without the reinforcements with this army, did not have enough to hold his position. So good cleanup and pushback by Trap.
Yeah, Gumiho kind of abandoned his tanks, left them to be cleaned up very easily by Trap, and Trap did not care about that anti-armor missile effect at all. He straight up was totally cool with it. It's, 60 to 53 workers in favor of Trap here. Gumiho has the bigger army, but we've seen that before.
Gumiho, he does have quite a nice army loaded up into these medivacs now. At the 4th base location, potentially just going to be able to cancel this. Instead, he's going to go for a bigger prize, moving in towards the 3rd. Going to pick off that battery, and the Archons and Zealots are moving forward. Trap doesn't actually have that much here. It looks like he will clean this up, taking big losses while doing so, however.
Yeah, 70 to 46 armor supply in favor of Gumiho after that battle. A couple probes at the top right here are in trouble, maybe forcing a cancel there, sending an Immortal down to deal with it. The rest of the army gets split off to deal with this push in nearby. Gumiho, and a drop inside the natural base too. Gumiho is using every tool in the Terran toolbook right now to try to take down Trap.
Yeah, Trap has a Colossus that just popped out to help with this. There's simply so much Terran. It's 38 supply against 67. One of those critical Immortals going down. 3 Stalkers did just pop out, and Gumiho, maybe not realizing how close Trap is to folding, pulls back for now. I'm pretty sure he'll be back soon, though.
Yeah, he's going to amp up with a couple more Marauders, a couple more Marines, some more Widow Mines, and he'll be back very, very soon. Trap's working on those Colossus. Extended Thermal Lance finishing would be a big boon for him for sure. It's almost there.
That same Prism staying alive is a great tool for the Protoss player. Trap gets a little bit of value, harassing Gumiho, pulling the Terran back. Importantly, every second matters as the Protoss player tries to catch up an army supply. We've now got Extended Thermal Lance finishing up for the Colossus, and the second Colossus being out as well, which is going to be massively important. But Gumiho is grouping on the front once more. Is Trap privy to this attack? It doesn't seem like it. He's moving towards the left, anticipating a move there. And in reality, Gumiho is ready to have another go at that 3rd base. Probes are dying as they had a bad transfer there. We see drop towards the back of the 3rd base, but Trap is just going to have to give up this 4th. There's nothing he can do to save it, and that's too much. Trap taps out.
Yeah, much better game 3 there from Gumiho. Did a great job harassing, great job with those little timing pushes. Good micro. That first push where he lost the 2 tanks wasn't so great, but after that, just the 3-pronged attack. Low ground, high ground, drop in the natural. There was so much for Trap to worry about. It was absolutely brutal. So definitely slowing him down a bit. Trap trying to get that economic advantage up, which he did. But at the end of the day, that wasn't enough to get him enough of an army to deal with Gumiho. And Gumiho takes game number 3 to avoid the sweep.
Yeah, I'm glad that it wasn't the sweep, because the first 2 games Gumiho lost them, but like he was playing pretty well. All things considered, he did a great job there keeping the pressure on.
Yep. That's what you got to do, man. I mean, that's Terran's entire design, is multiple harassment techniques, harassment units, putting the pressure on the enemy throughout the entire game so that your final push is able to take them out. It's death by 1,000 cuts. So finally able to get that game plan working, taking a game off, and we could see a reverse sweep here in a best of 5, but Gumiho's got a lot of work cut out for him.
Okay, both players are ready, so we're going to load on into game number 4.
Gonna be on Snowpiercer, which is a movie from the mid-2000s and also turned into a TV show fairly recently. Both got pretty good reviews, nothing really incredible. Yeah, the idea of the Snowpiercer movie is that it's a train traveling across the world that has been destroyed by climate change. And it's just snow everywhere, and as far as they know, the only living people are alive on this train, so kind of a fun concept.
Okay. In the top right, it is Trap.
And in the bottom left, it's our guy, Gumiho from Cloud9.
What year did Snowpiercer come out?
I want to say the movie came out in like 2000 and maybe 10? 2013 film. I don't know. So 2010s, not the 2000s. Yeah, by director Bong Joon-ho, who is known, he won an Oscar for Parasite in 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parasite was quite good.
Hmm? So yeah, Snowpiercer stars Chris Evans, Tilda Swinton, Ed Harris, John Hurt. So pretty good cast, pretty interesting. It's got like a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, so maybe a better reception than I remember it getting.
Right. So, Trap. Going for a Cybercore and Zealot to start this one off. We'll see if he cancels the Zealot or not.
Yeah, I don't know what he needs it for, to be honest.
Well, sometimes Max Pax does things like this, which he'll go for the single Zealot just because he's cutting gateways and stuff, realizing he needs all the supply. But Trap does cancel the Zealot. That's not too surprising.
Doesn't find too much need for it. Not a big deal at all.
Sending this probe super far to the north. Smart move, seeing as how there's a Reaper on the prowl.
Yeah, hiding as much as he can from said Reaper, and again, maybe throwing down a proxy. Wouldn't say no to one up there. But Adept on the way to deal with the Reaper. As always, the Reaper will not get a probe kill. I'm not sure a Reaper has gotten a probe kill in the opening harassment of a PvT since like 2019 or something. It's been a very long time.
That Adept will chase the Reaper away. Meanwhile, the probe is hanging out. You're not surprised that that Reaper got chased
didn't get a
away?
probe kill? Correct. Never happens.
I mean, that's why Terrans pretty much cut Reapers a lot of the time now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Protoss is usually going one of two builds. And then... Okay, so Trap's probe pops on in, sees there's a command center on the high ground.
Nice. Great scout there.
Both players have played it a little safe in the opening of this game. Trap with the Cyber Core before Nexus, and Gumiho with the command center on the high ground. A lot of respect across the board.
Yeah, certainly. That's what you like to see here. Blink about 50% complete there for Trap. Working on that Robo. I mean, it's gonna be more Storm, more High Templars here. Although it might be a little bit gun shy to go for him, considering how Gumiho did end up winning that last match.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the High Temp. Well, he didn't go for the High Templar in the last match, and he lost.
Oh, right.
So
in that case,
go for
the High Templar. Oh, that's right. I saw the Twilight, and I just assumed he was going to get a fast Templar Archives, and he just never did.
Nope,
So.
he went for the wrong kind of Templar.
Yeah. Yeah. Got nothing done with those first Dark Templar. That was a major problem. So, yeah. Sentry, big part of the early game, as you said, with that energy recharge capability. Going to go into a lot of hallucinated Phoenix. Going to be hard to hide stuff.
Gumiho's going for a 2-1-1 stim timing. Trap sees that it's coming his way.
Yeah. Scouts it, sees the exact everything, sees the load up. He's going to try to catch these medevacs with these stalkers. Having Blink
he
would be
kind of
really
needs to,
good here.
because you gotta shut this down ahead of time. And what a beautiful catch by Trap. Gets one of the medevacs.
He gets one. Blink is 5 seconds from completion. It's going to be really useful in holding this. And there it is. Blink is done.
Yeah.
And Gumiho's like, I just got shut down. I'm going home.
Yep. He's got Stimpack now, but Trap will just blink away from the Marines. And then they'll be overextended and picked off. So there's a reason we don't see 2-1-1 off that often against Protoss.
Because it's old?
It's old. It never really worked in the first place. And yeah, Trap is just like also that new scouting Phoenix, the hallucinated Phoenix. Like,
yeah,
you're not going to surprise a Protoss with that.
Yeah, and the whole point of the 2-1-1 is that it's unscouted and super aggressive and hopes to get a lot of damage done. And if it's that, you don't get those things, it doesn't work. So Gumiho getting a third base behind it, falling back into combat shield, +1 attack, all sorts of great stuff here from our Terran. And this map doesn't have any Xel'Naga watchtowers either. It does have some rocks to destroy though, so that's nice. The players will enjoy that.
They definitely will.
So what do we got? Army values even. Trap has more workers, which he needs because mules exist. Third base finishing up here from Gumiho. Going to make that one an orbital. Fourth bases and beyond will be planetaries, as is tradition. Charge coming in. More and more zealots. More Warp Prism shenanigans are definitely in the future here too from Trap. No reason to stop doing that at any point.
I don't know.
And there's the Templar Archives. Let's go.
Yeah. Well then, Trap. I don't know if you noticed the little ring around the scan. I wonder if that's something that the players see, or if that's just an observer added thing.
The color?
No, there's like more of a defined rim
radius
of the scan. I'll point it out next time, but it does, like, it looks a little odd.
Because I know they added player color to the scans.
Okay, maybe the,
Especially for team games and stuff, I think, was the idea there, but that might have been it. I don't know. We'll have to find another one.
I'm sure there'll be another scan in this game at some point. And there it is. See, look at the rim on that.
Oh yeah, that isn't. It's like it's like the border of a sensor tower, kind of, with the arrows.
Yeah, sensor towers did get a nerf in this patch as well.
That is true. Not that we've seen any. Maybe Gumiho realizes they're too nerfed. So, we got ourselves Psystorm on the way. I don't know if you want to try to come up here without Storm. But Gumiho sees the army sitting at the bottom and goes, let's be prepared for that. Trap says, no, how about we just pull all the way back home? That is a defended ramp. Let's wait for Storm to finish. Let's wait for that Warp Prism to get out there.
Yeah, Gumiho, he's got a 4th command center on the way. No Ghost Academy yet, though. It's finally building. And he's gonna need it against Trap. He's already got 3 High Templar with pretty much, well, a decent amount of energy. 1 full, the other 2 building it up. There's the Prism.
And let's go. Come on, Trap. Time for those charge lots to get inside the base.
All the pieces are in play here. And we're just waiting to see how they're going to come together. Gumiho does need to be on the defensive for a little bit, and that's fine, as he does have the 4th command center building. Trap's got a nice observer revealing this. A good placed Viking is able to repel the Prism. Oh, Gumiho makes a mistake, lifts the wrong command center. He quickly fixes it.
But still, little things like that in a game like this, where you're down 2-1 already, not great.
Scan does reveal that Protoss army, and Gumi goes, that's a little close for comfort. He is ready to receive this force of trap, though. He's going to just have to avoid the Psy Storms. And he did just have his first few ghosts pop out, so that is quite big as well. Ghosts popping out, ready to EMP as well. This could actually potentially turn into an overextension from Trap if he catches a couple of EMPs.
Ooh, doesn't lose that Immortal on the retreat there, too. Yeah, decides not to move in there. Doesn't like what he sees. Again, narrow chokes. Not somewhere you want to go against a Terran player like that. Robotic support bay finishing up here from Trap. You're going to get back into those Colossus.
The Prism trying its luck on the left side may find some damage. There's a single turret in position, and the mineral line's actually quite nicely placed for defense. It looks like Gumiho's got to chase this down, though.
Nice. Yeah, ready for that for sure. The attack on in, but a flank from Gumiho forces Trap to fall back. Doesn't like that at all. And in fact, is going to get entirely out of there. War Prism retreating on its heels as well. So nicely defended here by Gumiho.
Yeah. Like, if we look at Trap's army, it's not that scary. Now that the Terran player has Ghosts, when Gumiho is set up in a good position, because it's 25 Zealots. That is not that great. As time goes on, Gumiho's about to have 2-2 upgrades as well. That's going to be massive for the Terran player. More turrets got tossed up as well to deal with the potential Prism harassment. I do like what Gumiho has been building up to here, as long as he just doesn't get Psy-Stormed into oblivion.
Which is always a risk.
It
Dark Shrine
it definitely is. Trap's also got some nice detection, able to see that Terran army poke out. Mine's gonna burrow, a turret's building on the front lines. The mine getting taken care of will maybe tip Gumiho off, or it should tip him off that there's an observer lurking about. The observer does get taken care of. That's actually quite nice. Look at this, 3 command centers building for Gumiho.
Yeah, he tried doing this in game 2 as well. Didn't really pay off for him.
Trap, though, does feel a little bit pressured in this game to do something with his standing army, though. Like, he's still got 25 Zealots. He's gonna have to trade out some of those at some point. He's getting up a Stargate. Probably just wants to get up more and more production. Already up to 14 gateways is a massive amount. Siege tanks are shooting away on some of this Terran, on some of this Protoss force. Another observer is gonna get taken care of, but man, the pacifism in this game is real.
It really is. They've both kind of postured at each other like they want to go for an attack, but they haven't really committed to it that much today. Again, Trap comes down the ramp, gets hit by a tank, says no, definitely not, and falls back again. So this is the first time we've really seen both players maxed out, and the Warp Prism is still unable to get anything done.
Yeah, comfortably maxed out as well. Like, both players have got big banks, lots of production. And yeah, they're both really building up. We've got Gumiho building a nuke and 5 ghosts at a time, getting advanced ballistics. 5th base is getting established for Gumiho as well now, which is very important. 13 minutes in the game, you do want a 5th. Trap's got his 5th up, lots of cannons and a battery there. I really like that. Getting up a 6th now too.
Yeah, I mean, might as well just expand your face-off. If no one's really coming to kill you and you can't kill them, then yeah, let's mine out as much of the map as we can, get a huge bank, see whose bank is better, and so far that's Trap with 4,000 minerals and 1,500 gas in there. That's a bunch.
Yeah, I'd love to see Trap build quite a few more gateways, because he's got 5,000 minerals in the bank. And I know 14 gateways is a lot, but if he loses his whole army, he's going to need to build a new whole army very quickly, so I don't think he'd go wrong spending some money on a little bit more production. He's going to have to take a fight, and it's going to be really difficult for Trap. He's still got a very Zealot-heavy army. He's got 3 Colossus and 7 High Templar, 4 Immortals, but nothing is really making me worry for Gumiho. And Ghost is going to be going for a nuke to take out some of the static defense.
Gumiho, we love you, man. Let's go.
Does he see it's here? He doesn't pull away any workers. Trap is busy getting poked on the front. There's the nuke. Beautiful animation.
Yeah. Whoever made that nuke animation in Starcraft 2 did a great job. Excellent. So that is what we like to see from our dude. He's making another nuke back home, which is fantastic. I was excited for the Liberators for a minute because I thought they would have the giant circle, but ooh, nice avenging storm there.
Yeah, still, Gumiho did get one of those High Templar, so it could have been a lot worse had more storms got off. He will trade out a decent chunk of bio for a Nexus. It's not like Trap can't afford to rebuild that Nexus, though, so unless Gumiho gets some more damage done in the next minute or two, it's really going to be insignificant.
That's true. That's the problem with late game PvT, is that killing one hatch doesn't really matter in the long run unless you can follow it up, like you said, and Gumiho's trying to get it done. This looks like a pretty committed attack. Feedback on the ghosts on a couple of them there, but there are still a few, and a nuke is going to go off on the top of the ramp. Storming them to take them out. Did it get rid of? No, the one ghost who's nuking is still alive. Planetary top left side does get sniped, but the Immortal and Colossus army charge left coming near 2. SCVs dying all over the place. The nuke at the top of that ramp, did it land? It did land, and Gumiho charges up here.
Yeah, Gumiho, he has been softened up quite a bit after eating a couple Psy Storms. This group of units towards the middle of the map is getting taken care of. He's also being attacked on the other side. 4 Immortals putting out damage, cut through that planetary fortress rather quickly. And, I mean, Gumiho, he's got this army on the right side, but it's not that big. So I think that fight went Trap's way. As, I mean, Gumiho, he lost 32 SCVs. He's now making a monstrously large army with 8 Liberators at a time being produced as he's down, and he's got a lot more army supply available because he lost so many workers. And look at that. Yeah, Gumiho just builds all units here to replace those workers he lost.
Yeah, Gumiho's landed 2 nukes in this game. That's like a record for the last 6 months of Pro Starcraft, man. Absolutely awesome. He's making more nukes in the production tab as well.
EMPs catch a lot of that Protoss force. We do have some High Templar. They drop a feedback, but they got EMP'd. And now all of a sudden, Trap has to deal with this monstrous army. There is the Prism with some High Templar in it, waiting to drop some Psy Storms, but Trap just has to retreat. He knows he can't engage into this location. The Prism goes down. Gumiho EMPs it, gets the kill. And Trap, I think, is just going for a base race because he knows he can't deal with this force.
Yeah, this is a lot, man. 154 supply of Terran is a ton. Got the Ghost, got the EMPs, Marines, Marauders, and Trap says, screw it, we ball. Let's base race. They say never base race a Terran, but Trap is like, I don't care, let's go.
Yeah, I don't know if you got an option when the Terran army is this big. Trap does at least have a massive bank, so he's warping in DTs, building lots of static defense. This base down towards the bottom right really is the only location that he's got, though, besides his main, which is, of course, being cleaned up by Gumiho. So it really is a race to get as much damage done on both sides. There's a bunker that may kill off some Zealots. Every unit really matters in a situation like this. The Liberators for Gumiho are going to try and get some pickoffs. There is a blink forward to take care of those Liberators. Nicely done by Trap.
It's just these Colossus do no damage to buildings at all. They are utterly useless. The Liberator count is immense. Trying to storm our way to victory. It does take out most of them, but 3 remain.
Yeah, no mining is going on at this base. There's a single Stalker, but Trap, his production has really been crippled. He's got 4 gateways left in the main base. His Cyber Core is gone, so there's... Okay, or no, there must be a Cyber Core somewhere, pardon me. He did just warp in Stalkers. There's the Cyber Core. It goes down just now. He warps in some more Stalkers, but Gumiho has all these Liberators out. The production of the Terran player has pretty much been taken care of.
But he's got 114 army supply remaining. Medevac's here to heal the dudes. He keeps trying to deal with these Liberators, but it's not working.
It really, really isn't.
And again, I just want to point out, these Colossus are so bad at killing buildings, it's embarrassing. The Immortals are putting so much work in right now, which is nice. The Stalkers and the Zealots are great at it, but the Colossus is so useless in this situation, it's sad. What are these probes trying to do?
They are blocked by a single SCV.
Pathing is the dumbest thing in StarCraft sometimes. Go around! Man.
Okay, we've got quite a few High Templars and Stalkers that are vulnerable. Gumiho's going to land some really nice EMPs. Snipes catching the High Templar. Trap has got to just take a fight and win it at this point, and it is a nice engagement. Colossus getting some really good swipes off. The Terran bio on the ground isn't actually that massive.
Okay, hold on. Colossus count at 3 is still pretty scary.
Yeah, the Vikings are getting some good shots off. Trap's going to have to control his army very well. The Liberators for Gumiho not being a part of this fight is actually probably the reason why Trap was able to get a good engagement there. Of course, the Liberators set up once more, though. No mining is going to happen at this base.
This is where Trap's like, why don't I have a Stargate? I don't have a single Stargate.
He did
honestly.
have a Void Ray, but I guess it died.
Oh. Okay, falling back to this planetary, but there are like 4 Immortals in this group and 10 Stalkers, and I don't know. I think next to the Warping and Nexus is hilarious. EMP dodge. I think 1 Stalker caught an EMP there, but otherwise we're A-okay.
Trap needs to... Sorry.
No, you're good. I just saying this is nuts. What is Trap?
Yeah, there we go. Now he needs to spam pylons and gateways, and he's doing just that. As he's got the money to spend, so does Gumiho. Gumiho's making 3 starports at a time, though. He doesn't really have any bio production left. So Trap's production may be a little bit more available than his opponent's.
Yeah, these orbitals lifting and heading to... Are there dead airspaces on this map they can hide from Stalkers? Because if true, Trap's in an immense amount of trouble. Look at all these orbitals and command centers that are flying all over the place. Just casually getting burned down, getting shot out of the sky by Stalkers. This is crazy.
Yeah, I really do... Oh, what a play by Trap as he actually recalls to catch the Vikings.
Nice win. Army value is now higher for Trap for the first time in, like, ever. That's huge.
Yeah.
Top left corner is going really well for him, too. Oh, this game is crazy. Trap could maybe pull this off.
There is cloaking on the Ghosts as well, by the way, and there's only
Yes.
1 observer for Trap.
And it's in... Is it in observation mode, or is it...
It's just hanging out.
It's not even in observation mode. It's just hanging. Yeah, what the heck?
Okay.
Bring that around with your army.
And there's those Ghosts, able to cloak and just be unpunished right now, so the probes have no choice but to run away.
No cannons at this base at all.
Okay, where's that 1 observer? It's speeding across the map, as it does have that upgrade, which is actually probably the most important that upgrade's ever been in a game like this, because 2 Ghosts are going to get caught. I think Trap is slowly winning this one.
I think he is. How much is Gumiho mining from that bottom right area? Is that a base? That is a base.
He's mining a little bit, but his production has just been so delayed. Like, he built those 3 starports. He's making more Liberators. He runs those Ghosts right by that High Templar. He's like, wait a second. Gumiho misses an opportunity. He's got Liberators hitting this Protoss base. It's like
almost taking down a Colossus, but I think the Stalkers are in ample number to deal with this. And yeah, they do shove that Liberator away from the mineral line.
What a goofy game.
I mean, this is as crazy as it gets in StarCraft 2. This is fantastic.
Trap warps
it's 12 to 19 workers somehow. Somehow it's close in economy right now.
It is. This Liberator... These Liberators were denying some mining. They're all going to get set up once more. Trap did warp in 6 Stalkers. Is it going to be enough? He's got to be so careful about engaging this, and that was not enough Stalkers, so he loses 3. And Trap, he did fire up a new Nexus.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Liberators going down. Gumiho can ill afford to lose those right now.
No, Gumiho does still have a decent chunk of bio out on the map. It's looking for just some pylons. He's taking whatever he can get at this point in the game. He's got 2 orbitals left. He's finally building some more barracks, realizing that he needs some bio production. Drop some mules. Oh my gosh, what a game this is. Those mules are bringing in really good money for Gumiho. Trap's mining has actually fallen off compared to his opponents, and he managed to burn through that 5,000 mineral bank he had.
Yeah, both players are under 500 minerals at the moment. Horrendous. Bad place to be. 16 to 25 workers. Gumiho, does he have some mules he's calling down as well? I bet he does.
Oh yeah, he does. Big
yeah, there
time.
we go. Yep. That's massive. The income advantage is hugely in his favor right now.
Yep. Trap does see this, and that may prompt him to get aggressive. think it should.
He can't. I mean, he's got Chrono and everything, which is nice. But mules are just crazy, crazy good.
Okay. Trap is still just moving around on the map. Looks like that Liberator was dealt with. It is just comical how both these guys are just sitting back.
Yeah, it looks like it's a top left versus bottom right spawn game, but that was the opposite of the actual case.
Yeah, Gumiho, though, like, his mules are bringing in a lot of money. He's building siege tanks now, which is very, very threatening.
Yeah, really good against these Colossus. I mean, you can get hits early on the Immortals, too, with them, although the Immortals are good. Man, back into DTs. I don't know if he's gotten a lot of value out of these DTs today, but he really wants them to.
Yeah, I mean, in a base trade situation, you generally do want a Dark Shrine as the Protoss. He's now getting up a Templar Archives as well. Both players are just rebuilding their base. A Robo now on the way for Trap in a bit of a disruptive position for his gas. And yeah, both players have just had a bit of a gentleman's agreement to sit back and build up.
Yeah, they're going to try to remax again.
A scan does reveal that Protoss force.
And the Dark Shrine, which is massive.
Yeah.
Sees that coming. And look at Gumiho going back into Liberator. He's like, those are really good.
Yeah, if he can get a position where he can siege up on Trap's army, these Liberators will just annihilate the Protoss. I mean, there's only 9 Stalkers out. So 4 Liberators at a time is a really big deal. The first DT from this new Dark Shrine is moving out. Tanks are set up. There's plenty of ghosts. There's even a turret building.
Yeah, that's ginormous. He wants that turret dead. So he does force a cancel on it, which is awesome. And maybe you kill a Marauder, but you didn't. Colossus tickle those Marauders so much.
Yeah, there is still not that much of an answer directly for the Colossus. There's no Vikings. And so if Trap can position his Colossus well, maybe he can force Gumiho into a bad fight. But this is what Gumiho wanted to do. He's got tanks sieging up, Liberators, and he's looking to push on in towards Trap's side of the map. One of those tanks does get dealt with.
Yeah, but 91 to 80 army supply is not that bad for Trap. It's just as he has to the DTs. Dude, no way is he getting value here.
That is a lot of value. 15 dead SCVs on that rather small Terran economy is a big deal. High Templar feedbacks a Ghost, then drops a Psystorm and manages to stay alive. It's quite a big deal. Trap is now coming from behind, looking to get the jump on Gumiho, and he does. Feedback, Psystorm combo, takes out the Liberator. Trap is going for the kill, and it looks like he just annihilated that Terran army.
But drop into the second base, I guess, of Trap, unloading Liberator, defending the area with Defender mode circles as he do. Stalker gets wiped out, trying to get some shots off, but it's 74 to 64 army supply. The economy of Gumiho is down to 30 workers, and
GG.
Pulls it off. I cannot believe it. Chat was like, no way Trap wins this, right? Like 15 minutes ago. Hey man, Trap is Trap. He can pull it out. That was absolutely the best PvT I've seen in a long time. Wow. That was so good. I mean, if we're looking at units here, both, 302 to 307 units trained, 260 to 240 units killed, structures built 123 to 125. It was such an even game that way. And even the economy resources collection rate isn't all that different. It was just tuck and go so close the entire way. And a win for Trap to go 3-1 to finish off the best of 5 and move on to our finals.
Yeah, well done by Trap. He played that incredibly well, incredibly patiently. And yeah, He just looked really sharp throughout that entire series. So now we're gonna have our next PVT on the PTR. It's gonna be Classic taking on Cure. We're gonna throw to a break for a quick minute though, and we'll be back.
Do the Matcherino.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to our faces just for a second as we are already loading on into our next best of 5 after some more shenanigans with trying to get the new patch going. We are back on the PTR. So
Turns out running a tournament on the PTR is more difficult than imagined tonight.
Yeah, when you just sort of jump in and expect everything to be there. Apparently it's not, but...
Right.
Anyway, at least our great players are here. The first one in the bottom left representing Team Liquid. It's Cure.
And in the top right, it's our guy from Twisted. It's Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Classic played in a Starcraft Evolution tournament a little while ago. It was really fun to see him in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's just the Brood War versus Starcraft 2 mod in Starcraft 2, where they've imported a lot of Brood War units and stuff. And
oh, it's so cool.
It's so cool. Yeah, it's really fun to see things like Devourers taking on Starcraft 2 battle cruisers, or Reapers, you know, Mass Reaper trying to deal with the Lings and Hydras that come from Brood War, and pretty crazy.
I really think that that mod answers the question, in my opinion, of what race should we add to StarCraft 2? Like, if you were to add a 4th race, it's no, don't add a 4th, just add in the slight variance that is the Brood War races. And I think it's a great fit.
Yeah, definitely. It is so fun. Fun to cast, fun to watch. I mean, as someone who casts both StarCraft 2 and Brood War daily, I mean, it's like the perfect mod for me. I'm just so happy to see all of my favorite things happening at the same time. It's great.
I bet. Yeah, you must be the happiest person about it.
Maybe Artosis. He does both. Tasteless.
That's true. But I think you do more of both. Like, those guys are pretty much just Brood War these days, so...
yeah. No, I guess you're right, since they aren't casting... Oh, no, you're correct about that. Anywho, this is Amygdala. We saw this map already. There are 87 rocks to break down on this map, all around a center ring here. We're going to see some rocks destroyed for sure. There are rocks that are blocking expansions. There are rocks that are blocking pathing. The most direct way to get from your opponent to your base is by breaking rocks. Tis the nature.
I do like the gold base that's blocked by the rocks. I think it's been a while since we had one of those, but that's I think that's a good way to go about the gold base. To stop it just being rushed.
Right. Because that is always annoying when Terrans immediately lift off to a gold base and you're like, ah, come on. What am I supposed to do about that?
Okay, so a sentry first for Classic. So he's going to potentially use that ability, and there it is, the instant Phoenix getting tossed on out.
Sub 3 minutes. Absolutely beautiful.
Why Worker Scout when you can just pop out a sentry first and then see what's coming your way? Looks like Kier's actually moving to try and intercept this hallucinated Phoenix. He almost gets it, too.
Yeah, but I mean... Phoenix are shifty and they're really fast, and he gets the exact scout he wants off anyway, and it was an admirable effort from Cure, but yeah, not exactly doing what he wanted to do there.
I mean, if his Marines were a little more to the left, he would have caught that perfectly, so there you have it, guys. New meta in StarCraft 2. Trying to catch the hallucinated Phoenix opening. Now, Classic behind this is going for Blink. He's got out 2 gateways, getting out a Robo behind this. And so we'll see if it's going to be a 3rd gateway or a 3rd Nexus. You kind of have the choice as the Protoss player.
Yeah, so I mean, this looks pretty much the same way that Trap opened his games in the last series. Pretty early Blink, hallucinated Phoenix for the scout, sees the Widowmine drop before it's even like halfway across the map, and is going to be able to shut it down as a result. This Hellion is new, though.
Delayed force field lets the Hellion get into the main base. Classic does have to pull some probes to deal with it, but Kier doesn't quite micro it 100%. so it actually does just get dealt with.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't really going to do a whole lot. Maybe just for scouting more than anything else.
Classic has got a Templar Archives on the way behind this. There's also Blink about to finish up. And look at all those gateways. Holy cow, 4 gateways getting thrown on up. Charge starts getting researched, so Classic wants to have stuff as quickly as possible.
Liberators swinging in, a couple stalkers in position to deal with it. They get the early hits off, and that's going to be really problematic. Liberators just going to keep on moving.
Oh.
Never mind, it's going to die. Why did you stop there? Okay, cool, bye. Probably could have gotten out there if it turned around. Storm gets fired up by Classic. Let's go.
Yeah, Kier's play isn't looking flawless this game, but he still could have a lethal push coming out as he's got multiple tanks, quite a good number of Marines. At the same time, though, if you're to have something to deal with Marines, it's Storm. Particularly Marines that don't even have combat shield for at least another 2 minutes or so. As that just fires up now, so okay, 80 seconds away.
And here comes our guy Cure, GSL champion Cure.
Yeah, this isn't gonna work. These Marines are gonna get deleted, man. Oh, Storm is done now, so Cure actually gets saved by a 2-second window of Storm not being done, but one Storm still connects anyway. Just cuts through those Marines like a hot knife through butter. The tanks are zoning away the Protoss, but if you're Kier, I think you need to get out of here because Classic is going to collapse on top of this real soon. There's not even stim pack on the Marines, and yet there's going to be charge lots.
Yeah, but one more hit. Okay, we're not going to get that hit. Charge lots on top of your tanks. Nobody protecting them. Charge lots on top of the Zealots, or on top of the Marines, rather. All sorts of problems there. The tanks are gone. A new tank shows up, and you are correct. Bad decision to stick around. Classic shut that down.
Yeah, that did not work at all for Kier, and I think that was... Yeah, that was... You didn't need to be an Oracle to see that one coming.
Not even close. So that is a fantastic hold. We've got 56 to 52 workers. Classic is up. He's got a bigger army supply as well. He's got a 3rd base. He's got 1 million High Templar.
Yeah, Classic's like, hey, you know what's better than 3 High Templar? Double that. It's like an Observer does get taken care of. That's quite nice for the Terran player, but Kier, he's still going to be very far down in supply from that opening, as he lost 3 tanks, 25 Marines. He's got a bunker going up, which will definitely help out. Units don't take damage from Storm inside of bunkers. But Classic is just looking to go for a quick and dirty win with 17 Zealots, 6 High Templar, even morphing in an Archon. And here we go.
Charge Lock, Blink Stalkers, High Templar, Storm, War Prism, Archon. And charging right in there. The bunker does get taken down very quickly. Storm on the backside of cover. Widowmine does get a shot off there. Decent concave, but those get stormed as well. Marauders don't take a ton of damage from it, but they are so wounded. Zealots on the left side is picking off any reinforcements that come in, and that is
so dead.
It, man. Yeah, way too much. Classic takes game 1. Yo. That was absolutely brutal. Yeah, Cure going for that attack, committing to it. Not the greatest move. The absolute cost effectiveness of Classic in defending that attack at his 3rd base and then able to get a counter attack out, and that is all she wrote. So game 1 does go to our toss. We are a step closer to a toss versus toss finals here. And you know, the Balance Council did say their goal was to make Protoss more viable at these higher levels of StarCraft tournaments. So I mean, this isn't defeating Maru or anything, but definitely taking down somebody like Cure. Not a bad place to start, I guess. My goodness. But yeah, check out the Matcherino, folks. There's a link in the chat there. If you show up, I'm not sure that posts again. So I'm going to post it again because I'm a moderator. I can do that. But check out the Matcherino. Log in using your Battle.net account or whatever else you have. Do the claim code button at the right side. Throw some money at these players. Encourage them to come back to another SOOP event. SOOP live event, StarCraft Global, and
can you ref us, please?
Huh?
You got made lobby host if you can make us referee.
Oh.
And you got to start the game.
Okie doke. How'd that happen?
I don't know, but you got it.
We'll take it.
Okay, so yeah, that was something pretty cut and dry. That win for Classic.
Yeah, it really was. That little marine tank thing was not the answer. If he'd been able to hit maybe a minute sooner, before charge, before storm, maybe that goes a lot better for him. But
or a minute later when you've at least got, I don't know, stim and combat shield. Yeah, or a minute sooner, like you said. That's just... Anyway.
It was a tough window.
It really was. There was no window. It was just a brick wall. And on the left-hand side of the map, El Dorado, it is Classic.
Yeah, El Dorado. In the bottom right. Here. Okay, so Sneaky Southern Path is happening. This is the only game that Gumiho was able to take off of Trap in that first series. So it wasn't El Dorado. I'm not sure that there's anything magic about this map in particular, but well, we'll see. So far, so good as far as that was concerned. Again, we got that bottom path you can move down. Did we figure out how many minerals are in that wall leading down to that lower path? I mean, we did have some vision on it temporarily, but I don't think we checked, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll have to remember to take a peek at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's important to keep in mind that the winner of this best of 5 is going to move on to take on Trap, who's looking very lethal. And so we'll see if it is going to be the Protoss patch in which Classic can give us probably our first PvP finals in a Freak of World in a while.
Yeah, in quite a while, I would say. Oh no, we had the one. We had the one with yes. Was it Max Packs and Showtime?
I think it was, yeah.
Sounds like Max Packs and Showtime.
Hasn't been that long. Yeah, we have those ridiculous Phoenix games. Oh, Minerals 10, I believe.
Ah, so close. But it's more than one trip.
Yeah, it's double. Well, it's double thick as well, so it's 20.
Go back down there, probe. But yeah, I mean, that is the most ridiculous PvP series I've ever seen in my entire life. I cannot believe how much Mass Phoenix went into that series.
It's going to take a while to forget that one, that's for sure.
And then it would all end in a giant Phoenix ball clash, and I'd be like, I don't know, somebody's winning, I guess.
Yeah.
And then somebody would win, and it's like, oh, neat, next.
Well, it's usually the guy with one less Phoenix that loses. It's pretty cut and dry in Phoenix versus Phoenix.
Right. But sometimes little micro tricks matter, and I don't know. Here's moving out with 4 Marines. This is not... I guess this is something you can do.
I guess, yeah. Maybe he's hoping to catch that sentry on the high ground.
I don't think I like it.
Oh,
we'll
there's
see.
That hallucinated Phoenix moving on out. It's like, wait a second, something's missing.
Mm-hmm. Where are your units? How do you not have any units? It's like, wow.
Okay, up goes here. He is looking for this sentry, and is he gonna get it? He's like, that thing has been tossing out way too many hallucinations, man.
And nothing. Oh. He doesn't even get a single stalker. All 4 Marines die. Sentry and stalker live, albeit very injured. Disastrous for Cure.
Yeah, great micro by Classic pulling those back. There is a Hellion and a couple more Marines ready to try again, and Classic doesn't actually have that much. So, yeah, this sentry is going to die this time, I believe. And it is indeed dead. Classic was worried about drops going into his main base. Instead, now he's got to worry about this shove towards the front of his base. He does lose that one. Already injured Stalker. Now probes are the next target. 5 going down in total. 6.
And it does get shoved away, but 6 probes down. This stage of the game is not great for Classic, man. Not happy about it. And guess what? We have a medevac now. Now we're going to drop inside your main base with these suckers, unless the Warp Prism picks, or the Stalkers pick this up, which they do.
Oh.
They saw that. Did they not see that? They saw that. Ah.
He's just ignoring it if he did. Classic is just focused on getting the kill on the other side of the map. The bunker does finish up just in time for Cure, however, and that's going to be really big as far as defending this. SCVs are just pulled right into the battle. These Stalkers don't have blink yet, so they are sitting ducks.
On the other side, Hellion at the natural base is trying to get some work done in a really nice position, and probes are getting roasted here. Oh, does get sniped off. Stalkers responding to this fairly effectively, but I mean, 7 probes down to 2 SCVs down. Some really good trades so far from Cure. These Stalkers still hanging around, being super annoying, though.
Yeah, what a scrappy scenario. That siege tank comes on out. It will push these Stalkers away. They just blink on out for Classic, which is good. But, yeah, that was a lot of damage done to Classic.
5 SCVs down? What was that?
I don't know. Maybe he just lost one more or something out on the map.
Yeah.
But yeah, in total it's 5 SCVs, but Classic lost 5 probes to that first attack, and now he's lost 17 in total. And so, yeah, the Protoss is in quite a rough position. It could have been one of those scenarios in which the Terran folds under Stalker pressure, but Classic, he must have had his warpins messed with, or was just busy dealing with the attack at his natural, so he didn't have reinforcements coming. And now Kier's just being a nuisance, dropping a scan inside the main, sees the high Templar.
Storm. Yeah. And gets the medevac out of there too without taking too much damage. So yeah, Classic getting up to what he needs. Charge, Storm. Like, those are the 2 things that helped him win that last game so easily. Getting that third Nexus. Not sure he's going to go for more, but there you go. This is what you've been asking for.
Yeah, a Ghost Academy on the way already for Kier. As soon as he saw those High Templar, he's like, hey, ghosts. And we didn't see that from Gumiho, really.
No.
So I'm glad Kier's committing to those much sooner. Also, I don't think it was mentioned, but John Solo chipped in $20 to the Matrino prize pool.
Dang!
Thank you very much for doing that, John. Your support to the players is always appreciated.
Yeah, always, every time, man. Awesome stuff. So yeah, Ghost coming in at 7 minutes. We didn't see these things until after 10 in any of the previous PBTs. So getting out there, getting that energy out, ready for some EMPs on those High Templar as necessary, and could really be enough to turn the tide in a future battle.
Oh, it absolutely could. I mean,
yeah, look at how many High Templar there are.
Yeah. Oh, Liberator harassment hitting that third base. Then the Liberator going to reposition and get out of there. Great efficiency by Kier. Is Classic going to Psystorm that?
Not worth it. It'd have to be at least 2 more storms to kill it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be 2, I believe. But, hey, to get rid of it, he's got a lot of energy.
He's got that energy... Energon thingamajig. Energy charge, what's it called?
Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Energy recharge.
Yeah, recharge.
So now I got recharge and recall.
And you're right. Okay, so it takes 50 energy off the Nexus, but it recharges 100 energy.
Yes.
So that's where I got the 50 from. But it does recharge 100 energy, which is incredible, yeah. Glad we got there. All right, Classic's got his charge. He's going to take a pretty nasty Widow Mine hit, actually.
It really was a nasty mine shot, and there's the Ghost moving forward. Is there EMPs? Yes, there is. It catches all the High Templar.
Oh, and that's it. Classic's like, okay, bye, I'll be back later.
Yeah, let me just go cast 6 energy recharges.
Energon. Yeah, Bovine. I watched the Transformers movie with my kids last week, so...
Oh, the Shia LaBeouf one? Or
no, the animated one that came out that nobody watched, and it's really good.
Right. I think I remember you saying that. Yeah, it was...
Yeah. It's got Chris Hemsworth voice acting in it.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty great, and it did not make hardly any money, so it's very sad.
So we will not see another one.
Probably not. So warping, killing what? 4 SCVs is 5. Okay, 6 SCVs is getting up there. That was all right, I guess. Turned into a success at the end. Classic, because the EMPs came in, is now forced to get into a 4th base, and now he is taking Cure very seriously.
It's taking so long for these High Templar to get their energy back.
Yeah, it's not fast at all.
Now
Vikings are on the way. I guess maybe to deal with this Warp Prism.
Yeah, and well, there's Colossus on the way as well for Classic, so Cure kind of getting ahead of things, although it is only 2. But he's getting ready to move on in for aggression. A nice Side Storm catches a lot of those Terran units. Not too many killed, so the Medivacs can heal them up. But there's another one by Classic. Is he going to be following this up with a collapse on this army? Not quite.
Yeah, and an EMP attempted on that High Templar and a whiff there by Cure, so that's 1 fewer EMP he has. Zelnig Watchtower being held here in the center. Siege tanks up, healing the boys up, draining energy for sure off of those Medivacs. 111 and 98 supply in favor of Cure. Colossus on the way. Not going to be part of this upcoming battle unless Cure takes his time, which it kind of seems like he's okay. Falling back, not quite being as aggressive, but man, he's unsieging and pushing maybe towards that 4th base. That wouldn't be a bad target at all.
I think
nice EMP storm back and forth.
Yep, this duel. EMP hits that prism. He wants it as low as possible so he can potentially just pick it off. Zealots do move into that choke point, but it's an extreme choke point, so Classic can't move in on that.
And they caught an EMP too, which was big. Look at this split out here as well. Guardian Shield comes up. He's just going for it. He needs to save that 4th base. He does chase away the right side a little bit temporarily. Gonna try to save the Nexus at the very least. Colossus gets sniped. Vikings doing tons of damage. It's 80 to 30 army supply right now, and I'm not sure that Classic can hold this top left.
No, he didn't. He had all those High Templar, but it's not like he was dropping too many Psy Storms, as the High Templar were zoned to the back by the Ghosts, and so he's still got like 3 High Templar with plenty of energy. In comes some Ghosts, though they do land EMPs on those, so that is really big. There's not enough anti-air to quickly deal with the Vikings, so they push the Colossus back, and that fight actually goes better than I thought it would have for Cure. Classic was looking to collapse on top of him, but reinforcements came just in time for Cure.
Yeah, Defender's advantage a bit closer to home than Cure was. 72 to 58 army supply in favor of Cure here. More workers too. And he's got a 4th base he's going to land. So 4 base to 4 base. Actually, Classic is throwing up a 5th base there at the same location, just opposite of Cure's 4th. So it is going to be 5 bases to 4 bases here pretty soon. More Vikings being added in. I don't see. Did we replace the Colossus? We did replace the Colossus, actually. 2 of them died, and now we have 4. How do you do that?
Just
Classic. Just really pumping those Colossus out hardcore.
Chrono boost him out. He's now chrono boosting out Immortals as well.
Big fan. Always loved the Immortal. But again, EMPs kind of squish them up. Like, that's why you wanted to see them so much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Gumiho would have been dead to Psystorm by now and not have any Ghosts yet. So, really glad that Cure's been producing the Ghosts. They weren't touched in the patch at all. So that's part of the reason why they're still darn good. Or, no, they just had supply increased, I think, in one of the recent updates, but their actual stats I don't think was touched.
No, I was just supply.
Yeah, and that was even not immediately. Like, supply just got added when people were like, WTF, you didn't touch the Ghosts.
Yeah, I believe Clem especially was really vocal about doing something with Ghosts. And from the Terran perspective, I mean,
that is
from the best Terran player in the world right now to say that, I guess they took it seriously.
That is something that every pro player at the top of their game does. Well, not everyone, but a lot of them do. Like, Rogue said the same thing about Zerg when he was winning all the tournaments.
Yeah.
MC said it about Protoss way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And now Clem's saying it about Terran.
Yeah. It's magnanimous of you to be at the top of your game and say, hey, the race that I play could use a nerf.
It is. It's like, hey, I just won my 400 grand. I'm doing all right.
Yeah. I can afford to make Ghost a little bit worse. I can still win. Yeah, Cure just completely took this over, though. Sniping that base was huge. Classic's on 4 bases, Cure's on 4 bases. That's not going to work out for you long-term at all as a toss.
No.
The EMPs have been fantastic. Classic needs to get something done with these Zealots now. A new base getting replanted.
Completely in the dark, so these Zealots, they just run on in. It's not like Cure has reinforcements building as well. This is the problem with being maxed out. You don't have production to catch something like this. Classic pulls his opponent back and is now looking to seize the moment as he just blinks on in towards this planetary. Psystorms start dropping before the Ghost can EMP all the High Templar. The planetary just dies. And what an attack by Classic. Able to just pull Cure's attention and get a great attack off. Like, Cure's on 3 bases now.
Yep, it's really hard to time that kind of a thing too, right? Try to get the Zealots in there at the same time you're punching at that 4th base. But he timed it perfectly. The distraction came in, he got in, got that planetary, got out there without losing too much stuff, which is a huge deal too, and bam. Classic looking okay. That 5th base warping in, and he is definitely a happy camper. 3-3s coming in from Cure, working on +2 air weapons as well. And Classic is getting a Stargate, so I don't know if you watched that base race.
Oh, big Psystorm hits that Terran army. Cure decides to stim into it, which is absolute suicide, as there's more Psystorms for Classic. And his army is now so soft. He does have a nice concave, lots of EMPs, force that Protoss army back. But yeah, Cure needs to get these Medivacs working overtime.
Yeah, I'm going to drain all the energy off of those things if they get everything done. Sensor tower sniped. That was the radius of the sensor tower that got reduced a little bit, right?
It was, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all it does. Only way to change it is increase or decrease the radius.
Which is actually quite a significant nerf, because it's like if you order a medium pizza, it's something like 33% less pizza than a large pizza.
Yep.
Despite only being 2 inches, so like it's a lot less sensor tower pizza.
That is true.
Okay. 4th base getting secured for Cure, and it's going to be the gold as well, so that's quite nice for him. Gonna allow him to catch up economically, potentially, and he definitely needs that economic boost, as he's only on 52 SCVs due to the attacks by Classic. He's lost 33 SCVs in total. Oh, look at this, though. Classic, beautiful positioning is going to come behind this base, and he can just deny mining here for basically indefinitely. Stalkers blinked forward, mass Psystorm trying to cover them, but they do get all cut up. Classic really is going Psystorm happy with this new patch. Vikings catch a Colossus, that's really nice. Another one is going to get caught as a recall gets forced. The 3rd one barely escapes. Some Protoss units are left behind, and that was a big misstep by the Protoss player. Classic all of a sudden has no High Templar, or not many High Templar with Psystorm. I don't even know if he's got any with Psystorm. 1 Colossus that just died, and now in comes Cure looking for the win.
Yeah, look at that. That concave is massive. Landed Vikings doing tons of work, eating a storm in the process, yes, but chasing it away. 137 army supply. This Nexus is dead. The probes are all going down with it. Maybe a big disruptor hit, but nice pull away. No connection at all. Another great... that does catch a Ghost and a couple Marauders, but it's still 101 of 47 army supply. 2 Colossus are on the way, but I'm not sure if that is going to be enough.
Yeah, Zealots are good against injured bio units, but it's +3 bio, and there's only 1 armor on the Zealots, so they just melt too quickly. 4 Archons are being morphed somewhere for Classic. That's going to be his attempt to try and clean this up. The Disruptor also pushes the Terran army back, which is very important, but not in time to save the Robos, so it's just gateway units from here on out for Classic. He's looking to clean this up. There's no EMPs to deal with these Archons, so they're actually just splashing and killing so much of this Terran bio. Classic narrowly holds on for now and warps in another 6 High Templar. Okay, Cure. His economy wasn't the best before this attack, and it's still not the best now. He's dropping mules on his gold base, because that's really just the only base that's significantly mining for him. He will find Classic's 5th base, but Classics does still have his 4th, so he's bringing in a bit of money still. He's reestablishing this location as well.
Man, 87 to 41 army supply. That is a lot of Archons ready to be EMP'd and popped like a great.
It really is. It's Archons and High Templar for Classic in his main army. There's only 2 Ghosts, though, so there may actually not be enough. 2 more did just join the army, though, so that's important. But yeah, that is so many High Templar for Classic, and he's making 2 more Archons.
And they're just such big glowy targets, too. Like, you can't miss them as the Terran. You're going to get an EMP on those suckers. They're big.
Classic's plan is like, if I have more Archons than he has EMPs, I still get Archons at the end of the day. And now he moves on in. He finds, well, he gets to the critical mining base of Cure. I think it may just have to be a recall play from Classic, though, as he's really bunched up underneath these Liberators. Can he drop some Size Storms to buy himself some time? Archons are so big, and there's actually just no recall, so GG.
Yeah, those Archons. They hit hard, but yes, the EMP is extremely useful against them. So, GG. Cure ties it up 1-2-0. And I mean, it's really hard not to say that a lot of that hinges directly on that early Ghost stuff, right? The EMPs were beautiful. They were fantastic. They were good the whole time. He was dodging shots from the Novas, which again were reduced in radius size. Still lost a Ghost there, but overall, just great timing attacks, good concaves, took a lot of Storm, but was able to win some major engagements there too, especially that last one. So, nice job by Cure. I mean, that's what we're looking at here as a GSL champion. He hasn't done a lot since then, but he is still able to win games like this. So yeah, just trying to get into map number 3 here. The winner of this series will end up moving on out to the best of 7 against Trap, which is a tall order indeed. And we'll see what we get next by way of the next map. Looks like as we join into the lobby here, we're going to be on Snowpiercer. Excellent. Looks like everyone's in the lobby. Everybody's ready to go. And yeah, Snowpiercer, pretty fun map here. We got the WCS Game Heart.
WCS, it's been a minute since that was a thing.
Yeah. Definitely true at this point. Man, that is crazy. Thinking about how long it's been.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I was made host.
You were. All right, so here we go on to Snowpiercer, which again was made into a TV show. I never watched it, but kind of an interesting concept, I guess. It'd probably work. I think at the end of Snowpiercer, the train crashes, so they'd have to do kind of an alternate reality for the TV show.
Okay, and here we are. It's tied up 1-1. In the bottom left, we have got Liquid Cure.
And all the way in the top right, it is Team Twisted's Classic.
And he's going to be on the receiving end of a bit of a cheeky cheese. See how well he can hold it without battery overcharge.
I guess this is the test, right? This is the thing that the Balance Council wants to see is, does getting rid of the overcharge capability make something holding something like this significantly more difficult? And Cure is a good person to test it for us. So let's see how Classic. He does get the scout off. He's sending a probe down. It would be really bad for him if he didn't get any scouting off at all.
Yeah, he does have the Zealot on the way to start this off, but we did see in the previous match that he just relied on that overcharge, well, that energy overcharge on the Sentry, and Kira's going to be punishing him a little bit, potentially. Even tossing down a engineering bay to block the Nexus.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Probe scout on the other side sees what's going on. Cure is, there we go, making a Reaper. Gonna proxy a Reaper, get here before an Adept can be made or a Stalker can be made. He threw up a pylon in the mineral line. This is a lot of lost mining time. I'm not sure if it's worth it, but look at him get an SCV kill too. What a boss.
Amidst all this chaos, he manages to get an SCV, but now he's got probes that are chasing a Reaper. Lots of lost mining time, and definitely going to be at least one dead probe. There should be a second one that dies, I imagine, but no. The Stalker pops out in time.
Yeah, the things you have to do to get a single probe kill with a Reaper these days, man. You got to proxy it on the other side of the map to make it work.
It's true. And then you just get one, maybe two if you're lucky.
Right, all that for one, a drop of blood.
Yep, it was a good choice by Classic, though, to get out that Zealot, so he did have an easier time dealing with that eBay. And yeah, Kier just delayed himself a little bit. He's going to move out with this Widow Mine and maybe burrow it on the map, which I really love, because if Classic gets a little too aggressive, he can all of a sudden lose one of his few Protoss units.
So yeah, same thing as last game, man. Twilight Council. We've got ourselves a little bit of Blink coming in soon. Templar Archives probably. We'll see how fast that Ghost Academy is again from Cure. I mean, if I were him, I'd just do it again. It's not going to hurt you. I really don't see any situation where getting a faster Ghost Academy ruins you, you know?
Two Reapers jump into the main base. They do grab the Sentry.
Yeah, didn't even try to run there. Tried to block the hop-up spot, but with a force field, but wasn't enough, surprisingly.
That's a cool move by Kier. Seems that all of a sudden in this patch, Sentry's values has really increased.
Yeah, they've always been pretty good. But their value's definitely been better in this series, for sure.
Okay, Reaper's back inside the main base.
Yeah, it is going to die, but two more probes go down. That's nothing to shake a stick at here. Yeah, so there's your Blink coming in, and there is our... Okay, factory's done. We are going out with a quadruple Widowmine drop on this medevac. Gonna be a big deal. Trying to swing up the left side into the main base. Is there anything to prevent that from happening? Looks like a pylon's coming up for the early warning. But other than that, it seems all the Stalkers are down in the natural. So we'll see if they can get up there into the main in time to deal with this. Blink is not quite done yet, so getting up there is going to be a little bit difficult. And yeah, he sees it now, and he's walking up there as fast as he can get there. The Blink is not done, and the Widowmines are going to burrow. But great probe pull. Absolutely nothing done except for a ton of lost mining time here.
Yeah, until those Stalkers have blinked, those Widowmines... Well, now in comes an Observer, so they can't actually be dealt with. We'll see if Cure lifts them up. Oh, he's going to be such a pain. Good blinks, though, by Classic in order to avoid those Widowmines are now going to scamper away.
Yeah, the scurrying animation on Widowmines is very funny. So one Stalker died in exchange for 4 Widowmines. This guy is like, what if I go all the way in the corner? Then they can't find me, right? Blah. Very dead. A Banshee. First Banshee of the day. Swinging out here from Cure. Templar Archives warping in from Classic. Getting that charge too. So, I mean, he's not really deviating from the game plan in Game 1 and Game 2. It's tough to make a Banshee work against Blink Stalkers.
It really
just
is.
a really, really big thing to ask. He's oversaturating that gas.
Classic. What are you doing?
Classic. You can actually turn off that notification, can't you? That you're oversaturating a gas or a base.
Like remove the counter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you can.
I wonder if he's got it turned off. That doesn't make any
No,
sense to me. Nice feedback on the
there's no way
Banshee.
that he does.
Just not looking at it, I guess. All right, blinked up into the main base. Going to pick up a couple Marines, but the sheer amount of Marine there is going to make that really tough. But the Banshee's getting more kills. Look at this micro. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Knows it's dead. Goes for the 9th kill.
Oh my gosh.
It's 11 kills. Holy cow. Dude, yeah. Banshees. Make Banshees in this matchup, folks. That was amazing. I'm not sure if Classic didn't respond to it quite properly or if that Banshee control is just insane. Either way, way to go, Cure.
Yeah, just right place at the right time. Well done by Kier. I really do. Yeah, like. Yeah, I'm not sure what Classic did too wrong there, but now he is in quite a spot of bother. 11 dead probes. And Kier crossing the map with all this bio. And if Kier's good at one thing, it is bio pushes.
Indeed. Was it him who went like 3 racks every game in a PvT series we cast of his in Africa a while ago?
Yeah, for like years straight.
Yeah. That was like an entire build in this matchup with just 3 racks pushes with Marauders. Pretty good, turns out.
An observer will spot this Terran army coming on in. There's 1 tank, 2 Widowmines as far as siege, but there's lots of bio with +1 on the ground, so we've got Classic coming up behind this with the Prism, wanting to get off some big size storms. The scan narrowly misses the observer. That is incredibly good for Classic. Vision is so important when it comes to setting up an engagement like this.
Yeah, he's doing a good job making the pre-split, right? There's nothing that's a huge target for Storm. That Storm kind of stunk. That was a
really
better
missed.
one. Yeah, that second one was way better, and a lot of the stuff is very bruised up now, and Classic is in full pursuit.
No more size storm from those High Templars, so they're just going to morph into an Archon. Kier has been pushed back to his natural base. He's got a 3rd done, but it's not mining yet.
Ghost Academy just finished. Let's see if he starts making any ghosts or not. I think he's going to rely more on... There we go. 3 ghosts get fired up. Well, they're not going to be here immediately, and if Classic pushes now, there will be no EMPs.
Yeah, and these ghosts are later than the previous game. Like the previous game,
Yep.
he had the ghosts at the 7-minute mark.
He did. They were out, and I wonder if he's worried about that. I wonder if Classic's like, does he have ghosts already? But denying this 3rd base is a big deal as Classic fires up his 4th base on the other side of the map.
Oh, it's so huge. Kier has enough SCVs to pretty much saturate this base at his 3rd, and he's not mining from it at all. The economic hit from that is massive.
Incredibly inefficient. So let's see. I mean, the ghosts have been out for a minute. They have enough energy for the EMPs. Let's see if Classic can break this. I think there was a better window there where he could have gone in before the ghosts were ready for him, but
so as well. Kier has just set up at the alternative 3rd base location. The Prism with the High Templar, and it pulls back. And yeah, just testing
he
the
caught
waters.
the EMP and he was like, oh boy, I don't know about this now. Now he's being extremely cautious.
Yeah, and Classic is just being passive, which is better than taking a poor fight. He lost the previous game because he took a poor fight. And now this is what I'm glad to see. Really glad to see the extra Forge, getting 2 upgrades at a time, a Stargate, a Robo Bay on the way. Classic has outpositioned Kier as well now, forcing liftoff of that 3rd base. There's potential for massive economic damage as 8 SCVs go down, as there's so many charge lots inside the main. Classic is playing Kier like a fiddle right now. The Terran player has to pull back, but when you're in a position like this as the Terran, you are never happy.
Oh, the Storms are so good. The Zealots aren't going to clean this up by any stretch, but the 3rd base up here is a ghost town temporarily. The army does shove away what's left of Classic here. But yeah, all the pressure's been on Cure. It's 71 to
Oh my
56
gosh.
workers. Another huge warping of charge lots down here. The SCV death count is continuing to mount. He picks up more dudes, gets another storm off on that position. Cure has not been allowed to rest.
SCVs with that Psy Storm.
Oh, they were all clumped up on that ramp. That was huge, and now he's back down again. He's just using the basic attack on the High Templar to hit these SCVs.
Okay, is there a Viking out? Yes, there is.
Yes.
So this Reign of Terror from the Prism will end, but Kier's taken so much damage, I think he's got no choice but to basically go all in. It's 86 supply to 79. He's got Ghosts. There is presently just 2 Colossus out, although there's going to be a 3rd and a 4th probably by the time he gets there. So this is a disastrous position for the Red Terran. He's marching forward, but he may just be doomed with this. There's even a Zealot run by. Gonna catch one of the tanks. The 3rd base, it's got tons of mules on it, but that's going to be disrupted. Kier is all in on this attack. EMPs are hitting this Protoss force.
Yeah, the Archon's not happy about that. Falls back to a better concave position, but all of the income at this 3rd base gets completely denied. A storm on the ramp. Kier just kind of eats it. And my gosh, is there enough? EMP does catch all the High Templar. That was a big connection for sure, but not enough. Classic takes game number 2 to go up 2-2-1 in this best of 5. What a great game that was. And again, it's really tempting to just simply say, well, he didn't get Ghost fast enough. That 3rd base got lifted and denied because of the slower Ghost and the slower EMP. Man, but that was great. So, I mean, Cure getting some work done there, but the harassment absolutely brutal from Classic in that game. The War Prism storms, especially that storm on the ramp that got 20+ workers with 1 single storm. Just a truly fantastic display of how to play PvT. Got the 3rd base up, attacked well, getting the 4th base up, and everything was fantastic.
It was really well done by Classic. These Protoss players are just like, hey, Psystorm is pretty darn good now that they're incentivized to get it earlier. Thanks for pointing out that current matchup, by the way. There we are.
Yeah, it's like I've always wanted Protoss to use more High Templar, and I've never understood why they've been so reluctant.
Well,
but maybe with this new change, they're going to use them way more often.
Yeah, like, it's not like they really touch the High Templar or the Ghost at all. Just in roundabout ways, supply for the Ghost, High Templar can benefit from that energy overcharge, which makes them more appealing in the early game. But I think Protoss just got scared away from them, because, like, Terrans were just hitting those perfect timings with, like, 3 Ghosts, EMPing High Templar if Protoss went for them. But Protoss starts building the High Templar from, like, the 5th minute onwards or whatever. They've got too many to EMP in a timing attack, it seems.
Yeah, sure seems like it. What's up, Phoenix? What's up, Soup? There you go. The rebrand. It is still... People are getting used to it, I think.
Yep, we are still getting used to it as well. But you can indeed say that Soup has been running pretty darn well as far as performance goes, which is nice.
Yeah, and it's slicker than the old site for sure. I like it a lot.
Absolutely.
So, new map, Ultra Love. Looks like
Okay.
it should be February. Top right, on Ultra Love, it's Cure.
And in the bottom left, representing Protoss, it's Classic. And Twisted Minds, I believe.
But representing Protoss in a bigger way, I think. Protoss fans are very happy to see the performance of their favorite race in this tournament so far.
Yeah, I've been a big Classic fan for a long time. And that's why I'm glad he's still around and playing these events.
Definitely. So yeah, we are playing on the PTR patch, as you may be asking if you just came into the stream, which is a ton of fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
Zozo's like, I shouldn't have bet on Cure if it's on the PTR patch. Yeah, that's information you probably should know before you're going to bet on one of these events. Another Zealot coming in here from Classic. It did get some work done for him in the last game. Help him clear out the engineering bay.
Yeah, he cancels it, though.
Nexus down, no problems whatsoever. And a Marine instead of a Reaper this time from Cure, as is more of the norm anyway.
Yeah, I think that Classic's fine to get away with this because Ultra Love does look like it's quite a distance from ramp to ramp. On this map.
Kind of winds around a little bit.
Yeah, so I do get the feeling that it's gonna be like you can cut a few corners on a map like this, and so we do see that super duper fast sentry. It's gonna just get that energy charge and then send out that hallucination. There it is.
There it is. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. A beautiful thing. Hey, Phoenix, we got some nukes from Gumiho in the first series if you want to go back and watch that one. Since you are the biggest nuke fan that watches these events.
Okay, there's that Phoenix moving on in. It sees the factory.
Yep. Can't hide anything from super early hallucinated Phoenix.
Nope, because there's probably going to be another crossing the map in just a second here.
Yep. I mean, just give up on trying to hide anything from Protoss right now, guys. Yeah, Phoenix is like, well, I'm not dead, and there's nothing else to scout, so what do I do? Just hang out, I guess? Get shot dead to death by a Marine? Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how the hallucinated Phoenix opening ages. Because, like, yeah, Terrans from here on out, pretty much, when a Protoss goes for this opening, like, they see everything. They've seen it all. And so, yeah, we'll see if that becomes an issue down the line or not. As far as, like, build diversity or Terrans being able to cheese and things like that.
Right.
Anyway. Regardless of whether it's seen or not, Kira is going to go for a Widowmine drop.
Yeah, a lot of Terran Widowmine drops today. I mean, yes, it's kind of standard in this matchup. It's been that way for a while, but let's see a little bit more of a mix in. And the Phoenix scouts it immediately. Again, hiding stuff from the Protoss at this stage is so difficult. Yeah, there's like this underground electricity river thing.
That's cool. It's like cosmic soup or something.
Yeah. Very cool.
But uh-oh, it's a real Phoenix.
Oh. Wow, look at that. 2 real Phoenix. Yep. This is an abort mission situation for sure.
And the hallucinated one takes 2 of those Widow Mines.
Oh, man. And they're all buried in a position that doesn't do anything
Another one takes...
all.
Okay, just one of them. Sacrificial other Phoenix takes 1, takes 2.
2. Now they're all cleaned out, and that was a disaster.
Okay, 2 Hellions do go into the main.
2 Hellions cruise in. Nice body block on the warp in there, but you know it's really good against Hellions? Phoenix. Bonus damage versus light. They can lift the suckers, and absolutely no damage there either. Ugh.
Yeah, what a shutdown by Classic.
Yeah, oh, it's a little black hole down there in the middle. That's really cool design.
Okay, Kier is in quite a rough spot after that poor of an opening. He's on, well, he's against the ropes. Classic's on match point right now, so he's just going to have to hunker down, not take any further damage. And I guess at some point start building Vikings, because he's going to be up against Phoenix and Colossus most likely. Great lifts on the Phoenix, catching 4 SCVs.
Ye old Colossus getting fired up. Extended thermal lance a little bit sooner here from Classic than in the last game. And also the Twilight Council into Blink. Raven.
The Raven must have moved out and died, pardon me. Because that Stalker's missing quite a bit of shields. Okay, no turret inside the main base. Secure is having many more SCVs be lifted up. Red Terran's going to be moving out on the map, looking for a window, and he may have a slight one, as those Phoenix are out of energy, so they can't really lift. It's going to be one Colossus, a couple sentries to hold on against this. The Cyclone gets way too far forward, though, and gets taken care of. Marines are just pathing on in mindlessly. Here's now got some Marines and Marauders coming on in. The tanks start shooting away, and the Pylon's going to die, but I'm not sure what else is going to be here for Cure. 2 Widowmines and Burrow to help out with this, but the tank's too far forward, so it's getting shot at and does get taken care of.
Yeah, losing one of your medevacs there totally sucks as well. Leaving that one Widowmine at the front is very funny too. I like that a lot.
Cure just got 2 observers for 1 scan. That's quite nice, though.
Good value. Alright, so Cure falling back. Third base of Classic is up. Charge is finishing up. Extended Thermal Lance is finishing up. 13 seconds left on that guy. Vikings to deal with the Colossus. Coming in on Cure's side of things, and he's going to land his third base as well. So, not lagging too far behind on the economy. But once again, no sign of a Ghost Academy here. And I don't know if, again, he's going to wait for too late, to be blunt.
Yeah, he is just building Vikings for now, which is what he needs against the Colossus. Oh, cool volcano thing. Man, this map is all the cool stuff.
Yeah, there are some really nice doodads out here. Yeah, Marauders, Marines, Vikings. That factory wants to get sucked into the black hole, apparently.
Oh, a Viking could potentially get caught. Looks like the Phoenix do get zoned out. And grab an SCV just to be a nuisance. 2 SCVs.
2 of them. Don't lose anything for it. Free damage is free.
Yeah, 10 SCVs have died this game, and quite a bit of Terran stuff on top of that.
Yeah, I don't know if this Warp Prism is going to get a lot done from Classic, just because the Viking count is getting a little bit hefty. I mean, I guess that's one thing, right? You don't want the Zealots to cause you as many issues as they did in the last game, so you have a lot of Vikings out patrolling areas. Classic double expanding? The man's double expanding, LaughNgamez.
I approve that 100%. Although Cure is starting to move on out, it seems.
Yeah, it might be a bit of an overextend to try that. He's making 4 Vikings at a time in addition.
Oh, that's quite a bit of bio on the right side. That could very well just be caught. We do have the factory being chased by the Phoenix. There is 2 Vikings that just popped out. They're going to have to fly over a turret to stay safe, and they do, but now there's Zealots inside the main base. More Vikings are getting chased on down. They can't shut down that prism due to their Phoenix escort. So SCVs have got no choice but to run away. The Prism is potentially even going to get on out of there. Cure's pulled all the way back home, and Classic is buying time for that extra Nexus he built to get up unpunished.
Yeah. The Warp Prism, I bet the Warp Prism is dead.
Yes, it did perish.
Yeah, I don't think it was to make it out of there, but worth it. Tons of damage, a lot of lost mining time there. 4 SCVs down, 72 to 56 worker count in favor of Classic, and the armor value is about the same. So the only thing going for Cure right now, I would say, is that he's going to be able to deal with the Vikings pretty effectively. He's got a lot of Marauders and a lot of Vikings.
He really does.
Really nice.
Oh, and he's even pulling the boys.
Oh yeah, this is a desperation play here out of Cure. The Vikings getting big-time volleys off on the Colossus. Can they do it? But the SCVs are getting all burned alive. Good stutter step micro. One of the Colossus dies, but 2 remain. Disruptor shots trying to get down this ramp as well. They do get a decent hit there, and I don't know if there's enough here for Cure to stand.
Those disruptor hits.
Chased away. Colossus down, blinking on top of these Vikings. Army value for Cure is non-existent, and I think Cure's going to tap out here.
Yeah, the third base even died. GG. Classic takes the 3-1.
Hey, we got a PvP series, Protoss fans. PvP finals here in a pretty high-level tournament. So, I mean, hey, if there's hope, there's hope. Like, maybe this PTR is what you've been waiting for all this time. Maybe we can see a Protoss win a Premier Tournament for the first time since 2021 when Hero did it. So, I mean, it's been a heck of a long time so far.
Things definitely got shaken up quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good to see. I'm curious to see what the PTR is going to look like when it finally releases. I don't think anybody knows quite what it is yet, but they're pretty close to their final result. I'd be surprised if they changed it too much after this last one.
Yeah, so that means we do have our finals. It's going to be a PvP, Classic versus Trap. And these two guys are probably the second and third best Protoss in Korea right now. Stat seems to be a little MIA, so yeah.
They're not quite hero, but they're they're pretty good themselves for sure.
Exactly, yeah. I'm thinking like Hero's still probably the best one, but then Classic and Trap are close. Well, they're second and third. Okay. Right on. So we are just going to take a short break and then get on into our best of 7 finals. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you hear that pinging sound, that's music to a Starcraft fan's ears. As we are loading right on into our next match, it's going to be a full-blown best of 7. As we have a treat to see which one of these Protoss players is doing better than the other.
John Solo says, we haven't had a PvP in a while. We had a PvP between Showtime and Max Packs like 2 months ago that was bonkers.
That's a wild.
And honestly, very stupid, but it was fun.
Oh, it was probably some of the dumbest StarCraft I've seen in a while. Okay, so in the top right, it's Genji's Trap.
And in the bottom left, Twisted's Classic has made his way here to fight. Both players defeated a Terran player, Cure and Gumiho, respectively, went down to these Protoss Titans. And we have a PvP best of 7 finals.
Yeah, I'm not sure that this matchup will be affected too much in regards to what builds the players go, but at the same time, Protoss build a lot of sentries, or they tend to go for a sentry in a PvP. So that, of course, is going to be faster, so more scouting, less Protoss shenanigans can happen. Presumably, anyway. Who knows? Maybe they'll all come up with some twisted way to to do something. Whether it be bigger disruptor novas or sentry rushes or high Templar drops.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, and if you guys are new to these events or you don't happen to have a SOOP account, go ahead and make your SOOP account. Get your username before someone else does, as SOOP is still a fairly new platform. And yeah, we respond and read the chat. If you make an outrageous balance take in the comments, we'll probably laugh at you, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's entertaining anyway.
It definitely is. So we do have a sentry from Classic, whereas Trap is going for the double adepts, as both Protoss players have a probe on the opponent's side of the map.
Yeah, nothing too surprising here at all. So nothing too different, right? Couple stalkers, couple adepts, a little bit of annoying pylon, like nothing too out of the ordinary here.
You know what I guess is something that I never really considered in PvP before? I mean, this patch was implemented ages ago. Well, not ages ago in StarCraft terms, but a while ago. The sentries dealing extra damage to shields, I guess, makes sentries kill pylons faster in PvP. So it's a little faster at cleaning that up, the shield portion anyway.
Yeah, it's nice to get one out for that situation. This adept is going to escape, taking some damage on the whole though. There's a hallucinated Phoenix cruising out.
Yeah.
Scout out what's seeing going on the other side of the map. Both players are expanding, so no crazy one base all-ins are coming or anything like that.
Yeah, Trap is still making adepts though, so he's going to have 6 of those out, which is a ridiculously high number. I can only assume he's trying to pick off that sentry, then get some probes. As he shades into the main, 1 adept makes it into the main. That's not going to be able to kill the sentry, but it may be able to grab a couple of probes. It's definitely causing some disarray in Classic space. Gets a scout off as well, seeing the Twilight Council. And the rest of these adepts are also coming on in, but they get blocked. Still though, 2 probes. Disrupting mining at Classic space for a little bit.
Yep, just being classic little annoyance there. Haha. Ooh, another probe just got sniped. Another one goes down. Let's look at these sentries. Zippity zapping. Look at that little trapped adept down there inside of 3 force fields. What a terrible jail to be in. And the other 2 escape out and maybe want to come right back on in. What a scrappy opening 5 minutes this has been.
Yes, it really has. Those adepts are probably going to want to change direction. Yeah, they do commit that shade wrongly, though. And Trap is just thrown away like 6 adepts. Or is that even more?
20
No,
to
8
12
adepts.
army supply. Trap has the better worker count, but his army is tiny right now.
Oh, he's in so much trouble if Classic moves across the map, and that's exactly what Classic is doing. There is a battery about to finish for Trap, which could be his saving grace. Still, though, it's going to be 7 Stalkers against 2, 3 Sentries against 3 Sentries. Trap's got his work cut out for him. Turns out you can't just throw away 8 Adepts for 6 probes.
Yeah, no. It's not really going to work out for you in the long run, is it? So Classic sharking around the outside. Pops Guardian Shield, goes in for it. Shield Battery is here. No overcharge available because it is gone. And Sentry gets picked off, so you can't recharge its energy. It is 26 to 18 total army supply. Yeah. Depowering the Shield Battery. Probes are dying all over the place. Force fielded inside his own ramp. That's how it feels, Protoss. And it is, oh, the probe's outside, and Trap is in so much trouble.
Yeah, he does have this Immortal out, so he can break down this ramp. The Immortal takes point. Another Immortal is being produced. Classic is just going to head on home after getting this nice damage done. Trap's got the Prism inside the main base, so he can potentially get some counter damage done, as those Adepts will be able to shade around. Immediate probe pull, massive probe pull by Classic. And
yeah, the Adept attacked that pylon, so he got the message he was under attack, which made him get the early warning sign to get those probes out of there, which was nice. Chasing away that War Prism with a couple Stalkers, no big deal. And after all that, we're kind of even. Like, both players got their 2 bases. They both have exactly 40 workers. Army values within spitting distance of each other, and... Huh. So Trap did manage to lose those Adepts for 6 workers, and it kind of paid off for him. He's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's in an amazing position. He is down in Nexus compared to his opponent. The one thing I'll say that's really going for Trap here, though, is the fact that he's building up this strong Immortal-based army. One of those Immortals does have to pull back to the battery to get healed up. And it does. Stalkers got softened up during that. And now the Stalkers are actually looking to go into the main base.
Ooh, I love that. Observer leading the way as always. Going to snipe down a pylon, some guaranteed damage first. Maybe, ooh, more pylons getting sniped, and then an Immortal shows up, and it's like, okay, bye. Immortals are strong.
Ooh,
Time
looks
to
like
peace
Trap
out.
actually trying to set up a little bit of a surround. One Immortal in this army does force the red Protoss player to blink away.
Yeah, Guardian Shield gets popped a little bit unnecessarily, but Classic does dive back on in up there and then blinks out once more. Yeah, he dove in on that for a second, then blinked on out. Adept getting 2 probes before she gets blasted into pieces. And I don't know, Classic on the back foot here, but once again, I like... Oh my gosh, he blinks into the main again. I didn't think he would do that.
He's going to do it, though, and Classic instead is... Or Trap instead is just looking to get aggressive on the other side of the map. It's currently 3 Immortals to 3 Immortals, however, so there really isn't that much going for Trap. He's got to make this push happen, though, because he's behind 10 workers. There's just a good defensive position for Classic, though. He's got lots of sentries. A blink forward by Trap really makes him take a lot of damage, and this attack just did not work.
Classic ends up taking game number 1. A nice little back and forth there for game 1 of our PvP best of 7 series between these two. Yo. Yeah, at the end there, that was an army advantage at the end of the game there for Trap until that very last battle. Classic's able to get way more value out of it and get the win. So that was a fantastic GG.
Yeah, yeah. Very calmly played by Classic. And, I mean, maybe that attack could have worked by Trap, but it was just a very poor blink moving in.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes Protoss get a little overconfident, right? They end up being like, hey, I can blink in here and wipe this stuff out, and it works for me 99 times out of 100. Then every once in a while, it's just the worst choice in the world, and you kind of get toasted, that's what
Yeah.
happened there.
It wasn't great.
No. We're going to hop into our second game here.
Whispers of Gold.
That's a new one. Haven't been there today.
Okay, both players are inside the lobby, so, and we'll make sure they're ready, and they are.
Whispers of Gold. So I'm going to guess this is a map where they use the, like, gold doodads all around the map. There aren't actually any gold bases.
Ah. The
Hence
lies.
the whispers. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing a ton of blue minerals and not any gold minerals you can actually mine from. Tragedy.
Okay, so in this best of 7, we have got Trap in the bottom right.
And at the top left, Classic from Twisted.
Yeah, I think Trap's opening was just a little bit too extreme with the Adepts. Like, 8 Adepts, I'm sure kills lots of lower tier Protosses on the ladder, but a guy like Classic who knows how to tie his shoes and button his shirt isn't going to die to something like that.
Right. Yeah, just kind of hoping somebody would fall apart on that at this level is just a little bit too much to ask. So yeah, we're checking these bases. Blue, 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 blue. It's all blue. Everything's blue. But they do have those little gold mineral doodads everywhere. I guess that tree is kind of gold.
Yeah, the trees are very gold. It's actually quite pretty. It's like the
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah, good theme for the map pool right now. Of course, I got some snow the other day, so...
Ooh. Yeah, we've had a little bit, but it melted.
Right, same here.
I'm now living in a very colder place compared to where I was before, so I must adapt.
You must.
So, interestingly enough, Classic goes for a probe scout, whereas Trap goes for a probe parking in the south side of the map.
We finally get a proxy. We've had probes hiding on the map several times already today, and this is the first one that's throwing down a pylon. Usually just for a bit of a delayed scout. Alright, so double gate up, Cybercore finishing up. What do we get? One of the players is going to go double stalker.
Double Adept against Double Adept?
They both went double adept, yeah. I have been betrayed with my guess.
I really like this from Trap, just building a random pylon out on the map to mess with his opponent. Because we all know Classic is, he's counting that. He's like, wait a second, where's that other pylon? It should have been building by now. Then Trap's probe goes for a much delayed scout, but it may get away. It may actually just die to these adepts.
Yeah, it's getting chased hardcore. Probe is chasing an adept heading this. Okay, just gonna let it go, I guess. No big deal. Wants to get across the map as fast as possible.
And Classic, he knows. He's like, come on, man. Where'd you put the pylon? Did you build it by this cow?
No. Sneakily still hidden. Literally doing nothing with it. Sentry versus a oh gosh. Oh,
beautiful.
Sniped. Yeah, that was a great force field. That's some high level stuff right there.
Oh, Classic, you gotta move that adept.
Yeah, you can shade in, but yeah, keep her far away from danger here because she is horribly outnumbered and outgunned. Yeah, so a double adept, triple sentry follow-up. Is he gonna move out with this? Maybe if the Phoenix says it's a safe thing to do. Trap did not just build a pylon down there to build a pylon down there, did he?
Oh yeah, he did.
What? Just for the mind games,
Just
huh?
to mess with Classic, and Classic even knows it's a mind game. That's why he went looking for it. Hallucinated Oracle.
That's new.
Clearly
not
fake.
very much at all.
But
yeah.
May has gotta hallucinate something, so.
Phoenix are faster? Just
yeah, I guess
throwing
they
that
are.
out there. If you're trying to throw some, fear into your enemy's heart, then sure, hallucinated Oracle is better, but ow. A couple probes die, but both adepts eat it for 2 probes. Not a good trade at all. We could use that southern pylon for a dark shrine if we wanted. If we were cool. Come on, Trap.
I don't know if Trap's that cool.
Couple more probes go down. So just the tiniest bit of probe harassment today. Nothing too crazy. It's pretty much evened out. We're at 34 workers apiece.
Exactly even.
Yeah.
2 dead adepts, 2 dead probes.
Both players working on that blink, but a robo on the way from Classic. So yeah, pretty chill. Again, probes are dying, but not in massive numbers. I say that, or we're getting up to 5 or 6 here. Yeah, had to cancel that pile. He had to recall to deal with these 2 adepts. Like, that is a massive use of energy. Oh, and then they went back into the main base. They didn't even try to run. They went back into the main. Third base on the way from both players. About the same place there on construction. Not a big deal. Pylon still being used for absolutely nothing, and Classic still doesn't know where it is. He's not worried about it, I guess.
Nope, I think he's probably forgot about that pylon already. The 2 adepts of Classic are going to shade on in as the adept madness continues in this series. Looks like it's going to be 3, maybe 4 probes? 3 for 2.
Yeah, you don't want to be a probe in this game. Statistics are you're going to get murdered at some point. Classic's working on some charge. We do like the charge lots in this matchup for sure. Especially jumping on top of those stalkers, jumping on top of those sentries.
It never ends. More adepts.
I know. It's like, I have enough money to make 2 adepts. It's totally fine.
Yeah, maybe this time they'll get those 10 probe kills.
5 was pretty good that last time, though, for Classic. Yeah, and both players immortal, both players charge, both players +1. Here we go.
Both players tossing out hallucinated Phoenix all over the place. Observer will be caught by Trap. That's a nice find.
Absolutely. Blinding your enemy a little bit is always nice, no matter what kind of battle you're in. These adepts, one adept dies, the other one.
Stalkers do get caught.
Army value 35 to 35. Worker value 56 to 55. Base count even. Both players working on the exact same upgrades. Trap is throwing up 3 additional gateways now. 4 additional gateways now. So he's gearing up for something big here on 55 workers. And a Templar Archives. So I don't think he's planning on expanding again for a minute. Adds Classic does throw down a 4th, which might be a bit of a mistake if Trap shows up with an extra, 20 to 40 army supply compared to what Classic has. Yeah, Classic has no idea. He doesn't know there's not a 4th base. He doesn't know about the extra gates that got thrown up. I guess Classic's throwing up his own 6 gates now, so timing's just a little bit later, but I guess it really won't make that much of a difference. Yeah, I guess Trap gets his own 4th base down to the south as well. So, all right. Charge completing on both sides. Ground weapons level 1 completing pretty much on both sides here. Trap's a little bit behind. There's going to be a tiny window where there is an upgrade advantage for Classic. And I like that he fired up his +2 immediately, too. So that window will continue to extend for him.
Yeah, that I mean, upgrades can make or break the big fight when it does happen. +2 does get fired up by Trap, though, so it's not too far behind. Also dumping a Chrono Boost into that.
Yeah, so we're just moving into 4-base, 5-base shenanigans here. A couple Archons in the mix, no big deal to help against those Zealots. Archons are really good. That bonus versus biological kicks in fast on the Zealots on the front lines. Both players getting scouted out, see what they're up to, and we're going to max out here pretty quickly. I mean, 70 workers apiece. The Classic does have the bigger worker value and the bigger army, but Trap can warp in a few more High Templar, a few more Zealots, and kind of catch up. But man, 103 to 87 is a significant increase here and advantage for Classic. Let's see what he can do with it.
Yeah, we'll see if he even wants to attack. We could have a scenario where both players are just content to sit back and build up. So we very well could see Stargates going down at some point to build into Tempest or Carriers. There is this Prism hanging out in Classic space, or behind Classic space. It's not really worth to go in with that Prism though until Classic and Trap have an engagement elsewhere to distract. There's also the mirrored Prism going in for Classic. Classic actually just not wasting any time is going to unload those Zealots right away. The Prism may actually get caught, although it does manage to pass outside of the main base. There's now an attack going on for Classic towards the front. Great force fields going down, and the Concave looks really nice for the blue Protoss, although as he steps in, his Zealots are getting ground down. There is a battery in play for Trap as well. Army supplies are very even on both sides. 11 probes have died to Zealots, though, from Classic, so despite the fight being even, the blue Protoss does come out ahead.
And he's dealing with the Stalkers that came to deal with him, too. Classic kind of on two fronts, winning the battles. Finally, more Stalkers coming to clear those things out. There's death on the other side of the map, too, for Classic. A lot of Zealots going to town. They're going to take down a single Nexus, too. It is just chaos all over the map right now.
Yeah, those Zealots just cut those Nexus down. Looks like Trap did get some Archons into his main base. He realized Stalkers aren't cutting it when dealing with these Zealots. Trap killed one Nexus. He's now moving into the main base with all these Zealots, but he is going to lose his Prism, perhaps. It will go down. The Zealots inside the main base are also going to be dealt with, so big blows on both sides. The worker count's fairly even. The base count's actually even right now with 4 bases to 4 bases. And so this it all works out in the end.
Yeah, despite all the damage, we have exactly the same worker count again. That Nexus going down is maybe the biggest deal. Classic losing that was huge. Might try to replant it, but he also has a base coming up at the 12 o'clock that can kind of account for it as well.
Now, Classic did get his +3 attack started during all that chaos, whereas Trap has yet to start that upgrade for himself. And, oh, he must have actually lost his Forge, I think.
Ooh, that's a really big play, too. Yeah, replacing that Forge. Look at that. Yeah, so that's a massive advantage for Classic having that +3.
Oh yeah, +3 against +2 with no other notable differences in the army. It's clearly going to go the way of the player with +3. It's not like the Protoss players can control the fight that much with sentries with all these Archons on the map, so it kind of does just become a headbutting battle. So we'll see.
Yeah, the Archons and the Immortals, force fields are going to be worthless.
Oh no, this Immortal keeps pathing the wrong way. Trap corrects it twice to keep it alive. That's massively important. The red Protoss is just on 4 bases for now, buying time. And he does have a Robo Bay and a Robo facility on the way, so maybe Disruptors are going to be on the way next. And those would be good in this case. Both players are close to max out. Classic is closer though, but supplies are They're still very, very close to each other. Defender's advantage for Trap is enough to dissuade Classic from going in for an attack. The blue Protoss, though, can be comfortable in the fact that he is a 5th base, whereas his opponent does not. Trap's going to try and even the playing field by adding in disruptors. A couple big disruptor shots could just melt Classic's army. It'll help overcome that upgrade lead that Classic has right now, and may just be the ticket for Trap to winning this game. Although Classic is now firing up his own disruptors.
Yeah, we're going to see some disruptor tennis here, which is kind of one of the fun things about PvP. Can get old every once in a while, but it's been a while since I've seen it, so I'll be okay with that, I think.
It's slightly more lethal disruptor tennis than usual. Those Novas are now bigger than they were previously. Both players are maxed out. Trap is actually the player that fires up +1 armor, whereas it's shields on the way for Classic. With all these Archons, shields is probably the better pick, although it is the more expensive upgrade.
Yeah, really stacks up. Zealots are trying to take down this Nexus. They do force a cancel before the cannons can get them to flee. Super annoying.
One disruptor
shot dodged, yeah. And now here's the, oh, gets 2 disruptors with 1 Nova. That's huge for Classic.
Absolutely massive disruptor shot by Classic. Now he's in control. He can either drag this fight out and make use of his disruptors, or he can just potentially push on in, and he's kind of splitting the difference by parking his army outside this 4th base. Archons can't engage inside this tight little choke point. Another disruptor Nova gets tossed on out. Trap has got his own disruptor out again, but Classic pulls away from it. This disruptor's also going to wander forward and just dies. That's not something that Trap can afford. He's got another disruptor out, so maybe he can get a big connection to come back in this game, but he is incredibly far behind at this point. Picks off the 1 disruptor before it gets a shot off, fires out his own Nova, and gets an Archon. Trap is staying alive, but he is in a very weak position right now.
Yeah, a worker count 70 to 54 in favor of Classic. He's expanding all along that left side of the map. Trap's income is terrible, and a single warp gate gets wiped out. Trap comes in and tries to deal with it. Archon's dueling at the front, the Immortals at the back doing pretty good damage here. And yeah, just kind of sniping out the enemy Robo Bay. Nice pick off, denying a armor upgrade.
Oh, that is so
like going after that Forge. Army value is the same here, but look at all these buildings dying for Trap.
Yeah, Trap's army supply is still close to Classics. He's trying to hold on. Even if he does hold on, though, he's lost his natural base. He's lost 39 workers. He's going to need a miracle to win this game. He is slowly cleaning up what his opponent has, so this may have been a slight overcommitment by Classic. A big Zealot Warpin is going to try and give Classic the best fight possible, but a nice Disruptor Nova from Trap is able to pick off those Stalkers, and this does give Trap a significant army lead. He kind of needs to just go and win the game right now.
Yeah, 74 to 53 army value. So much stuff has died, but when the dust settles, looks like Trap's in the lead. He's going to take advantage of it. Zealots run fast. They're going to wait for everybody to catch up to him. Archon's popping right in the time to help deal with these Zealots a little bit, but swinging down to the south side, nothing defending that base at all. The Archons, yeah, Disruptor shots hit absolutely nothing. That's a dead Nexus without a doubt with his +3 attack all over them. The probes get recalled out of there, not before 10 of them get killed, which is a huge deal. 11 as someone gets left behind. And the worker count is a little bit better, but still 59 to 36 workers in favor of Classic's a big deal. Trap needs more damage.
He does need more damage, and he's actually rotating towards the right-hand side of the base to the right-hand side of the map to potentially get it if he can pick off one more base, or better yet, just force a fight. It's kind of a coin toss at this point, but that's probably the best odds Trap has. A Disruptor Nova gets a lot of the disruptors of Classic. There's still disruptors on both sides, however, so these Protoss players have to play it safe. Classic has got a massive bank as well, enough to warp in 20 Zealots, or just whatever he really wants. And there is a Zealot Warpin inside the main base. That Prism coming back to haunt Classic, or to haunt Trap, pardon me, is able to get a huge Warpin. And Trap has got to bring back some more Zealots to help deal with this.
Yeah, hacking away at that Dark Shrine a little bit. Not sure they're actually going to be able to get a lot of work done there, but 58 to 35 workers. The longer this goes on, the worse it is. Did he cancel? Must have canceled that warp in.
There's also DTs.
DT's just going to town on these stalkers. They can't even tell what's going on. Nova Connection does get a pretty decent hit there. Nova goes down. Another Nova comes in. That's a nice blink dodge out of there. Immortals can take a couple shots before they die. The control is really nice here. Traps ahead in army supply just barely. He needs to get another Nexus. Looks like he is. He focuses it down just a little bit here.
Yeah, blink by Classic to pick off a high-value target or two. He's now moving on in. Another blink by Trap to try and return the favor. The Disruptors are gone on both sides. Archons are falling for Classic. However, he's got a big Zealot warp in the buffer for his army, and there's not really any Zealots left for Trap. And Immortals aren't that good in this scenario. We've got DTs warped in for Trap to help out, and they were brought to the front lines, but they are actually just going to go down. A Prism for Trap is also here that can micro these Immortals. Both players have barely any army left.
What a mess this is. Yeah, and it just looks like Classic has enough going for him. Trap is down to 20 army supply, 30 total workers. Classic's got basically double that in every category. He's expanding up to the top 1 o'clock position too. Trap's got some decent income going here, but he just can't keep up with what Classic is rolling with right now.
Okay, Trap did finally transfer some of those probes to increase his income, and Classic actually sees this Nexus, and he's like, oh man, you are not completely dead. But Trap is moving out on the map. He's got half the army supply of his opponent. He's going to need a miracle engagement, and there's also a DT moving out towards this Nexus.
Oh gosh, sniping a Nexus there. Big deal. Immortal chunk damage on those are so big. DT's hacking away on a Nexus is also pretty great. I might just have to get a cancel on that one as well. Trap. Scrap, 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 and a DT inside this mineral line, getting free probe kills, though. My gosh, both sides taking such bloody noses here.
Yeah, Trap's just going to tap out. He tried his best, but Classic takes the 2-0 lead.
Oof. Yeah, that was a tough game to drop there, but just a couple engagements going Classic's way. Gets that 2-0 lead. A nice place to be in this best of 7 finals, ladies and gentlemen. Great start there from Classic. Trap fans can't be too happy about it, but you know, it's a PvP. It's a little bit of a volatile matchup for sure.
And regardless of the outcome, Trap hasn't been playing bad games at all. Like, he was really fighting at the end of that one. Just, I mean, he took that one big, like, he was behind and it was manageable, and then he took that one horrible disruptor hit. And
yes,
he was on the back foot since then.
And that's the nature of the disruptor, man. It's a risk reward. You get a big hit on something, and it can really put you ahead for good. Fantastic. All right, we're hopping in. We're back on ley lines. On the PTR, people have been asking in chat, just to make sure everybody knows it is on the PTR.
Yeah, the first Starcraft patch in quite a while, and it has delivered so far with its variety and whatnot. Like, it's not just a simple balance change. There's some design changes.
And be sure to hit up that match arena. LaughNgamez just dropped it in the chat. Too easy to ignore.
All right. In the bottom left of ley lines, it is a Classic.
And in the top right, it is our blue Protoss player. It is Trap. Going to be another 2-gate cyber opening. Maybe we see a cannon rush in this matchup. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see a cannon rush, but I am enjoying how it's not just all Phoenix. Probes pass each other, as is the meta in this matchup.
And yeah, nothing crazy. Both players don't want to rock the boat too much here in Game 3 of a best-of-7, although I think it's a pretty good time to do it. Both players are kind of settled in. They know the openings. Problem is, you get probe scouted so easily in this matchup that trying to sneak something out is really tough to pull off. Really relies on your opponent not exactly knowing what you're doing at all, so can be tricky. So 2 stalkers out here from Classic, a stalker and a sentry on the way from Trap. Both players getting that warp gate, probably the most important upgrade for Protoss in this matchup and every other one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like breathing.
Yeah, you don't get warp gate, what are you even doing?
Pylon going down on both sides. Looks like we get a cancel and a cancel. Double sentry from Classic. There's Trap, already has one, so it's gonna be it's gonna be mirrored, guys. They're gonna have the same stuff.
Hey, quelle surprise! Tried to kill that hallucinated Phoenix before it could get across the map, but it's got just a little bit too much HP for that. I don't know, maybe reducing HP on hallucinated Phoenixes would not be a bad thing for the current patch.
Yeah, maybe
a little
just,
bit too good, maybe.
yeah, I don't know. Make them take like triple damage or something, or reduce the timer. That would be a way to go about it.
Yeah, it could be. But I mean, yeah, like, you scout everything, and you can almost get like, okay, what do I do with my Phoenix now? Like, you just get so bored with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really do see how this could limit gameplay when it comes to Protoss matchups, because it's like, there will be no guessing if you open with sentries.
Just kind of like, meh. Where's the surprise, right?
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of big Starcraft moments are like, oh, will he scout it, will he not?
Yeah, and if just everything's getting perfectly scouted every time, then it's just like, all right, well, now it just comes down to execution, which is good. I like watching good execution.
Oh, I'm sure
But
pro
catching
players
someone by surprise is
absolutely
awesome.
love it, because they love having their information.
Yep. They don't like playing in the dark. Really, I'm not sure there are that many pro players in StarCraft 2 right now that really work that hard to hide what they're doing from their opponent either.
No, it's true. Like, I mean, as Legacy of the Void hits its almost 10th year, there's not a lot of surprise left.
No.
But there occasionally is.
Yeah, it's not so much like coming up with a new strategy as much as maybe faking something.
Yeah,
like
and
trying to make your opponent think you're doing
things.
one thing and then flip it to something else, right? Like in Brood War right now, there's this thing that Zerg players are doing where they'll put a Spire in their main and a Hydralisk Den in their natural.
Oh, yeah.
And then depending on what the Terran player scans, they do the other thing.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right? So the Terran sees the Spire and says, okay, prepare for mutas, and then you make a, 27 Hydras and come kill him. I don't know, maybe something like that. Doesn't seem that hard. Third base coming in here from Trap. Classic is not quite warping in a third base of his own yet. Ooh, Resident Glaives got started up by accident, I think. Then he canceled it and moved into charge instead.
I think we may be having some of the most successful adepts from Trap today, as they are able to get 3-4 workers, and one makes it into the main base. Classic just uses a recall. He says, nope, I'm dealing with that. Shut it down. Which I'm a big fan of. We're now seeing an attack on the front lines by Trap. Blink Stalkers against Blink Stalkers. Classic notably secures the base with the Rich Vespine Geyser, which could help him out economically, which is quite important, seeing as how he is down 6 workers. And as far as early game goes, this one seems to be going much better for Trap. Adepts are now going to shade back on into the main base. 3 Stalkers get warped on in as a response. And, I mean, they can kill Adepts, but it still takes a while.
Yeah, they're a little bit too tanky for Stalker's likings. Take several shots over again to take those Adepts out while they're murdering your probes. Really frustrating stuff. Templar Archives warping in here from Trap, throwing up 6 warp gates, charge, +1, observers, all sorts of beautiful stuff. Every Protoss player wants to see. And is that Rich Vespine Geyser base? Nice.
It is.
Classic 4th or Rich? That's his 3rd?
It's his 3rd, but he hasn't built at it yet. And then he took the 4th.
He took another Rich Vespine Geyser base.
There we go. Now he's building this one at least.
Yeah, it's like if you're going to build it out there, the whole point is to get the Vespine Geyser. The purple stuff. Purple stuff, Sunny D.
It's like you go to the gas station and you got your regular and you got your premium.
Yeah, premium gas, totally. Oh. Maybe gonna try to push on this Trap a little bit. Doesn't like
Beautiful
what he sees. Force field in a couple zealots. Free zealots are so free.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of supply that Classic was able to shave off before the start of this fight, which is important because Trap had himself a nice timing window. The red Protoss is still on the defensive. He has to pull back behind some force field just to actually keep his Stalkers covered on the front lines, though his Immortals are having a hard time. He's warped in some of his own Zealots to help buffer. A battery is about to finish up, but it gets targeted. Trap is just looking for the kill, and he may have found it. It's super close.
Yeah, the vast majority of that fight, he had a +1 attack advantage, and he used it beautifully. Yeah, Classic's +1 attack didn't finish until the fight was basically over. That was massive. That was a really, really solid +1 timing attack there that Classic was just not quite ready for. And Trap does manage to pull himself back into the series. It's now 2-1 in this best of 7. And I cannot wait to see where we're going to go from this. I mean, at least we're not getting Mass Phoenix versus Mass Phoenix.
Yeah. We may have jinxed it by now. We'll see. But Korean players definitely have that different... Oh, I picked the wrong match. Korean players definitely have that different playstyle that I don't think they favor such antics as much.
Right. Makes sense.
We'll make sure both players are ready, and they are, so away we go. Not sure if it got mentioned, but Phoenix of War tossed in $21 to the prize pool.
Nice. Thank you so much for supporting these players.
For those of you that don't know, every dollar that goes to the match Reno goes straight to the players, just as more of an incentive to come out to the later cups by saying, hey, we got a bigger prize pool. Right on. In the top right, it's Genji's Trap.
And in the bottom left, Twisted Classic. Best of 7. Classics up 2-1. Excellent. We are on Ultra Love. I don't know what about this map indicates Ultra Love, but
Got some real cool effects, that's for sure.
yeah, probably the coolest looking doodad effects of any map I've seen so
It's even
far.
got a floating mineral. It's like
Yeah,
a
looks like
pylon crystal, but it's on some minerals.
Maybe that's the kind of thing the Protoss harvest to turn into their pylons.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely top flight PvP. Haven't had one of these in an ESL or a WCS or a GSL forever.
Pylon block goes down. And it looks like Classic may just be going for a single gateway opening, whereas Trap is doing the exact same thing. Just Trap was able to get up a Nexus faster than his opponent, as he did not get that pylon block. Oh, but Classic actually managed to steal one of Trap's gases. When's the last time you saw that happen? Oh, he actually canceled it. It's funny. I guess he just figures Trap will just take a lower base gas, so it's not worth it.
Yeah, not at this stage of the game. I mean, my 3v3 teammate Somicron had his gas stolen earlier today, so I mean, it's still going on.
Oh, at the lower levels?
Uh-huh.
You get the double gas steal.
And the proxy gates. Oh, yeah.
It's one of those things in StarCraft, like, if you don't know how to stop your gas being stolen, like, you just lose.
Right. Too strong, but it does force you to learn, so.
Yep. Now, Pylon is still blocking Trap's Nexus.
Good luck with that, probe. It'll take you about 8 years to burn that thing down.
Or blocking Classic's Nexus. Classic just elected to take his third base location instead.
I'm down.
I mean,
actually making an oracle, too.
I'm not down for it.
Ah!
Like, this is
vulnerable.
Yeah, it's super vulnerable. You know how many Adepts Trap's been making all day?
It's a fair point. Guess what's coming across the map right now?
3 Stalkers.
Not Adepts.
Okay, that Oracle is going to fly right over the Stalkers.
Pretty good reaction time getting out of there in time.
Yeah, there is a battery as well to heal up the blue Protoss' units. As these two are skirmishing all over the place. It looks like Trap will come out ahead on that, though. Oh, the Oracle had actually finished one of them off, and it comes on in to finish off the other Stalker.
Fight. Got him. Nice. Oracle with 3 kills. Very sweet.
Yeah.
Gets a little top off on the shield battery before it heads back out for more. That was nice.
Yeah, now Classic still has a ways to go as far as coming back in this game because he is behind a whopping 8 workers. Due to that incredibly delayed third Nexus, he's got the longer transfer time for his workers. The Oracle does come on in, though, and starts trying to help even this up a little bit. Oh. We've got a third going up for both players.
Void Ray hacking away on that pylon.
Yeah, it's going to be a dead Ray in a second here.
Oh,
no,
it is not. Oracle swing in, couple probes down. It's like dealing with queens while you're trying to snipe down drones. You just deal with the anti-air fire and go back in and more probes down. Dude, Classic's up. 43 to 37 workers, and the Oracle escapes with all of 4 hit points. Good grief.
Yeah, talk about a swing in the worker count. Now, this is going to put Classic on the back foot a little bit because there's a reason why Trap is behind on workers. He must have cut some to make army, so now Classic's going to have to focus on the defense. He's got 1 Immortal out, 1 Void Ray. The Void Ray is still just flying out on the map, though, so it's not going to be here to help defend against all these Blink Stalkers of Trap. Trap is 11 Blink Stalkers, and he's going to the main base. Oh, the Artosis pylon powering 3 gateways is going to get taken out. Classic is all of a sudden panicking to try and re-secure his main base against these stalkers. He's got to get those probes back to work as soon as possible. A force field goes down, but these stalkers, they're just playing for time. Trap knows that this is good damage he's getting done. He almost gets the Immortal. He actually blinks on top of the Immortal, so probes have to be pulled into the fight to ensure Classic wins this. And all of a sudden, Trap is now the player with the 6 worker lead.
Man, yeah, just back and forth here, seesawing our way up and down in that worker count. 51 to 42 in favor of Trap. So yeah, I don't want to be a probe in this series at all. Both players are making serious efforts to murder them. Ooh, and oh my gosh, the Void Ray makes it out alive again. Into the main base of the enemy, mind you. It's not like he's escaping into the dead airspace. Oracle catching retreating probes and not getting too greedy, falling back into black hole airspace.
Oh, look at that lightning
hanging out. Man, this is the coolest map.
It really is.
The underwater magic space streams. We got the black holes. We got the floating pylon crystals. Amazing.
Okay, Trap just threw up a ton of gateways, so he's going to have lots of production in a moment here. Blink is still non-existent for Classic, and it's not even been started yet.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem to matter all that much. He does pick off a retreating, recalling out their Stalker. Classic, bigger army, more worker count right now. 3 base to 3 base, and guess who comes in? More Adepts, more dead probes. Trap's favorite strategy today has been...
It really is. He figures if I throw enough Adepts at the wall, surely some of them are going to stick.
And he hasn't been wrong so far.
Okay, Charge is about to finish up for Trap, which means he's got 2 upgrades. He's gonna, well, he's actually got 3. He's gonna have Blink, Charge, and +1 against the army of Classic, which has nothing of the sort. Classic's trying to get up a 4th base. That may be coming back to bite him as he's got 1 Immortal moving out towards that 4th. That is so vulnerable. If he loses this Immortal, that is going to be massively problematic. That 4th Nexus just has to be canceled on the spot. Classic is really on the defensive here. He's going to need a miracle to hold on in this game. His Stalkers are taking lots of damage, but it's not like they can blink behind the Zealot line. Zealots are warping in for Classic, but it's slowly, and they don't have charge as well. GG, Trap is able to tie it up.
Hey, 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 Adepts. They get the work done, man. Absolutely fantastic. I'm glad you're enjoying the new map pool, Joel. That's pretty fantastic. Yeah. Some pretty fun stuff in here. And again, I do love the El Dorado map where both players spawn in the bottom left and bottom right. Hopefully we get one of those in the series. And based on the fact that our map pool is maybe not as big right now, I think we'll get it at some point. So that was great. Got a 2-2 tie up here. We'll see if this can work out. I mean, yeah, this is awesome. So going to be a best of 7. So at the very least, we are going to get 6 maps here today.
Yeah. So we will have seen all the maps, as there actually is only 6 new maps. We're going to be having a repeat on 1 if
we go to 7, yeah.
If we go to 7. Which doesn't really matter at all, seeing as how it's a mirror matchup.
Right. Not a big deal. It's not like we have to go twice on a map that is favored for one race over another.
Exactly. That was my concern.
Yeah, although these are new enough that I'm not sure anybody's like, this is usually Terran favored.
I don't think so.
No. And it is El Dorado. Hooray. Let's go. Damn, could be a map for cannon rushing. Quite possibly.
Yeah, it's almost hard to believe, but in the bottom right, with it tied up 2-2, it's classic.
And then we've got Trap. Not a forge, tragically.
Yeah, maybe that's what we needed, a buff to cannons to help Protoss.
Man, changing cannons. When's the last time they changed cannons?
I don't know.
I'm gonna check real quick. Wikipedia. Alright, patch notes. No patch changes in Legacy of the Void.
Yep, that tracks.
For the cannon, so Wings of Liberty. There was one patch change. Life and shield values were increased from 125, 125 to 150, 150. So there was a change back in Wings of Liberty.
Were people not cannon rushing back then?
I don't know. Maybe they are too easy to defend.
People hadn't learned about placing down 3 dirty pylons to block your opponents. I mean, they probably didn't even have destructible plates on maps yet.
They did not, no. Yeah, I am curious about that. Like, why? Patch 7, version 0.9.0. Like, that's pre-release, isn't it? Because 1.0 is... So yeah, it hasn't been changed since Starcraft was officially released. Crazy. And they haven't changed Marines, Zerglings, or Zealots either. They've kind of messed with some of the values and abilities that they've had, but the base stats have always remained the same.
Phoenix lifts up in a depth, so Classic can potentially just win this fight. Although that lift expires, so the Adept can then shade into the main base. Meanwhile, there's a Phoenix on Trap for Trap's army, so he can actually get a good lift off. It seems both these players are a little unsure of what to do in this scenario, as it's a bit of an odd one.
Yeah, PvP sometimes gets a little bit wonky. Of course, TBT does as well, so they're not alone in this. Yeah, so one of the alphas with David Kim doing battle reports back in the early pre-Wings of Liberty days. Those were good times.
Yeah, which RTS did David Kim join now? Was it Battle Aces, I think?
Is he Battle Aces or is he Stormgate?
I think he's Battle Aces, I want to say.
Could be right.
Okay, we are having our Goofy Phoenix game, by the way, Falcon.
No, you're right. You assured me, you promised me that these are professional Koreans Not those wonky European Protoss players that are goofballs.
Okay, to be fair, it's 1 out of 5, not 5 out of 5.
That's true. Was the whole series Phoenix? I thought game 1 was kind of normal.
Maybe game 1 was, but like
Maybe.
all the other games were.
Yes. David Kim is on Battle Aces. Okay, fair. Oh my gosh, why? Who started this? We need to prosecute them. Whichever player decided to go the Phoenix first and the other one is responding to it, they're just playing along. It's not their fault.
It should be against the law.
Just, yes. To initiate Phoenix PvP should be against the law.
Make it so that if you see your opponent with a Phoenix, you must stop building Phoenix.
No, the person who first builds more than like 2 Phoenix in a PvP just loses.
Okay.
You can make 2. That's it.
3's a crowd.
3 is too much. Throwing down that second Stargate is too much.
Okay, it's 9 versus 8. If you guys want to know the number,
I don't care. Honestly. Oh my gosh.
Okay, that poor Stalker gets lifted up, then he gets dropped as the Phoenix versus Phoenix fight starts, and it looks like Trap actually gets the first lick in with 1 Phoenix for nothing, all to save that stupid Stalker's life. We do have a third up for both, well, on the way up for both players.
An Ion Pulse Crystals comes up for both players at about the same time. Phoenix says he's not goofy. No. But Protoss players certainly are goofy. Yeah, just get the little bumblebee buzzing sound constantly in this entire matchup. Whoever made the sound design for the Phoenix is very happy about this game. This is my time to shine. And then at some point they'll decide to attack and somebody will win and that will be GG. That's all this is. Oh. Hey, look. Accidental engagement and 9 Pulse Crystals is done for Classic and Not Trap. Now they're both done.
And it's actually Classic pulling out ahead.
Crushing. Yeah, he's up 10 supply now. But the battle was in the center of the map, so it was kind of hard to push his advantage.
I mean, he definitely should be. He's got double the Phoenix right now.
Yeah, just keep it going.
Trap kind of panics and builds an extra Stargate. He's like, oh man, I'm gonna need some more Phoenix. But I think he's at a point of Phoenix where he has Phoenixed his last Phoenix. As, yeah, like he's down 5 Phoenix right now. If Classic saw his army, he'd be like, yeah, that is it. And I think that is it, as Trap is pulling back to defend, but he just doesn't have the numbers. He's now got 3 building at a time. And
yeah, that's just GG, man. Dead, GG, dead. All right, Classic goes up 3-2. 1 game away from finishing this up. I pray to the gods of Protoss we don't get 2 more games of this.
Yeah, we'll see.
Phoenix Wars are dancing on the edge of a razor, says Joel. Yeah, true. But I don't know. I mean, I got too much of it. It's too much of it. I'm not even sure exactly when we cast that series, but it feels like it was a couple months ago.
Yeah, it was a couple months ago.
Of course, time's a flat circle anymore, so...
This is true. Okay, Trap will be picking the next map, and then if we go to an ace match, it will be a pick for whoever loses, in which case it would be Classic losing, so Classic will get to pick one of the maps again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's definitely Saturday morning, John. But yeah, you're very welcome, Joel. Thanks to LaughNgamez for organizing all of it and inviting me along to do some co-casting. It's always a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're back on Amygdala.
Classic is ready. We'll make sure Trap is ready, and he is. Be missing these when they are Saturday AM. Yeah. Yeah, it's had to do them because I was in a different time zone. So I was yes, it wouldn't have worked doing the late night ones, but now my schedule's all over the place, so it's like, what the heck? We'll just plan them and well, hopefully it works out.
Figure it out on the fly. Do it live.
On the fly? You mean you want more Phoenix flying about?
Boo.
It's classic.
And at the top right, it is Trap. All right, Trap. You lose this one. You drop the whole series. Let's go. What's up your sleeve here? Please not Phoenix. That didn't go well for you in the last game. Don't do it.
Let's go to whatever LAN event is next and boo any player that makes Phoenix in PvPs.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, look, we had previous games in this series that involved Phoenix, and it didn't devolve into mass Phoenix. So maybe what I should say, to be fair, is if you make a second Stargate, then I will boo you.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's 2 Stargates and a fleet beacon, right?
Well, what it is a nuclear arms race. Like, you're like, oh
Yeah.
man, this guy's got nukes, so I gotta build nukes.
Right, but you don't do that because they have 1 Stargate. You wait until they have 2 Stargates, and then you're like, all right, I gotta keep up. Right?
It's true. But it's been a long time since I've seen, like, one player be like, oh, when they both have a Stargate, I'm like, fine, I'll go into Blink or whatever. It's like, they
Right.
always go Phoenix. If both have Stargates, they always build Phoenix.
Right.
I guess just because you're too late making stalkers, it's just matchup design. If they want to improve it, just make the Phoenix, I don't know, make it take more damage from stalkers or something.
Right.
Or make it 3-shot probes or something like that instead.
Give Protoss Parasitic Bomb. Is Dark militarying these days? Let's find out.
Dark? I don't believe so, because he just had a kid, right? Dark's still around, I want to say.
He hasn't done his military service yet.
No, I think he may miss next year's tournament.
Uh-huh.
But we'll see.
You're right. He did have a kid. Do they make you do military when you have a kid?
I don't know if they do, actually.
Because he hasn't done it, and it's required for all Korean dudes. So, what's he doing?
I don't know.
What the heck? Somebody figure it out. But yeah, like if he's going to military, what happens? What he's a dad. They don't do that unless there's like a world war going on.
I believe they do have an exception for that.
Well then, I mean, you'd think more StarCraft players would have kids then, right?
I mean, yeah, Korean people in general don't have a lot of kids these days. So.
They do not. That's true.
They have like the lowest birth rate ever.
Gemini says there's no exception for having kids. Yeah, because if there was an exception for it, I think we would see more players than Dark.
I thought there was, like, if you had, it might be like I thought it was like a dependent thing or something, but
yeah,
maybe I'm wrong.
You'd think so,
because like
I don't know.
Because like didn't MC get married or something, and so then he ended up not having to go. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
This is a pretty chaotic battle here. Oracle does get picked off after
it's
killing
incredibly
Stalker. Look
chaotic.
at these adepts chasing these stalkers
Does Trap
down.
not have a recall to save those? I guess not.
Man, Adepts versus Stalkers is not something where you see the Adepts win very often.
No. That stalker is going to be dead.
There's the juke. Good
What
luck.
did we
So
have?
Gemini, so Dark's gonna go military and leave his kid with his mom. Like that's what we're looking at here?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, probably is a good thing there's no exception, because otherwise, like you said, people would just be having kids to potentially get out of it.
Well, you'd probably increase the birth rate in your country if you did that, too.
Sure. Maybe they should do that. They might actually do that. Who knows? Adepts for Classic make it into the main base of Trap. He's on the receiving end of a lot of aggression from his opponent, though. Panic building 2 batteries. One of his stalkers goes down. The sentry's putting out damage, but the sentry's dead. The stalker's dead. It's all the probes being pulled off the line. Meanwhile, Adepts are dealing lots of damage for Classic. So Trap isn't actually mining that much, but he does have 3 Adepts warped in on his side of the map. A Stasis Ward does not get the connection that Classic needs. Trap is looking like he may actually close it up. The Stalker is being healed by the battery. It's a god. But that battery overcharge, well, just that regular battery is going to run out. There's not many probes left for Classic. He's been mining a little bit. I mean, there is only 4 Stalkers left for Trap, but he should be able to warp in another one in a second. Probes are pulled off the line. They're doing what they can. The battery is still healing that one Stalker. There's nothing else to be warped in, though, for Classic. He actually
he
uses...
recharges the battery, yeah.
Oh, he's trying so hard, but he's down way too many workers, and... At the same time, the Oracle does all the probes. GG.
Trap forces a game 7. Let's go. What a crazy PvP. That's what I was expecting more of the series to be. Man, Adept versus Stalkers, both players on either side trying to murder each other's economy. That was amazing. That was definitely a clown show PvP, John Solo, 100%. Whew. All right. So we're going to get into game 7 here. Classic gets to choose what map we're on.
Oh, it's the pretty one.
Yay. We go to Love map.
Okay.
Ultra Love. Once again, I don't know what about this map is love, but it's very cool.
Just for a 1-minute break, I'm just going to use the washroom real quickly.
All right, sounds good.
I'll just leave the camera on. Back in a sec.
All right. Late night here, but good Starcraft. Got a game 7 coming up. All right, so maybe Dark could do alternative service, right? Maybe he can live at home and do some alternative service. Because I think that would probably be best for him. I guess we'll find out. Because, yeah, I've just never heard of a StarCraft 2 player or a Brood War player going in the military with a kid. Yeah, that'd be cool, gentlemen. I imagine that's what they're going to do. I can't imagine they're like, all right, you're going to be away from your kid for a couple years. Have fun with that. And it's new. Okay, so maybe they're just kind of deciding what they're going to do with this then. Well, yeah, I certainly hope that Dark is able to be with his kid because, you know, as a father myself, I think being taken away, having to go away from my kids for that long would be really, really terrible.
Back.
Welcome back. Thinking a live action Lilo and Stitch?
Oh, that sounds atrocious.
Yeah, I don't like that idea. Right, Gemini. There was an exception for having a kid that would solve the birth rate problem for sure.
Okay, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is a best of 7, and we've gone the distance. It's going to be Classic taking on Trap. And there's Classic in the bottom left.
In the top right, he started down 2-0, and he's forced to game 7. It's Trap.
Yeah.
What a scrappy series from him.
We were wondering which one of these Protoss players was better. And they've shown that they're pretty evenly matched. At least today.
Buff Jenkins says, GG Naniwa. Haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, Naniwa was an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of wasted potential, I think.
Yeah, probably. Same for Neeb, as long as we're on that topic.
Wasted potential?
I think so.
I don't know, like...
Could have won a lot more than he did.
I mean, he had his peak, and he won like 3 WCS titles in a row.
That's true.
Won a couple of big Chinese events, too. He was on the cusp of, yeah, being like the best in the world, and had some really close series and games, but he won over like 500 grand in a relatively short time span.
Yeah. He definitely did well. I just think he could have done better. But you're right. Hard to look at that and be like, my goodness, were you just sad?
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue going to university when you've won lots of money and are slowing down and stuff is a very respectful thing to do.
Totally.
Like, sort of like Snoot, if you remember Snoot.
Yes, I forgot about Snoot though. Well, Stefano's like studying to be a doctor. He kind of shows up every once in a while to compete.
Yeah, yeah, Stefano did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he retired really early, like Naniwa. But then Stefano just, he kept popping back up, playing cool games and stuff. And then at some point, I think he won like, I don't know, it was like 20 or 50 grand or something in a North African WESG qualifier.
Nice. Yeah, he'll do that. He'll be gone for a while, and then you'll look at a bracket and something and be like, oh, Stefano's playing. What?
Yeah, like...
It's kind of cool.
We may have some old faces popping up with Home Story Cup coming up again soon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Always good for the old legends. That is soon, huh? Man, it's another year already.
Yep, November.
Time is going too fast.
Oracle comes on in, starts nabbing as many probes as possible, being a measly 2. Does it at least get out? Yes, it does, hiding in the beautiful thunderclouds.
Ooh, yeah. Just the atmosphere is peak right there.
Like, that's not like a base game animation, is it?
None of this stuff is. I don't think so.
Well, some of it is.
I'm thinking maybe... You know that mission at the end of Legacy of the Void, or you're out kind of like on that rock platform and you're out in space? Yeah.
But like,
I don't know what that is though.
Yeah, I don't know. Might be like a whale or something.
It's just like a giant whale doodad.
Anyway,
mostly covered up.
That's clearly the old mothership's like Planet Cracker or whatever.
Ooh, you think so?
Yeah, the Vortex or whatever.
The old Archon toilet strategy.
Yes, indeed. Two Oracles come on in for Classic, showing us his good control, but no matter how fast he is, 4 stalkers is enough to pick off one of those.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a quicker blink for trap.
Yeah, pretty significantly, too. And finding blink stalkers when you don't have blink is not a good time.
Oh, yeah. Well, we saw that in the previous game. That's why you lost.
Right. Exactly.
This game, though, Classic at least has it on the way. So it's not like he'll be without it for too long. Classic's up on probes, but has a later third Nexus. He's going to have to contend with these stalkers. The Oracle's alive, being a nuisance, actually going to kill a Zealot. That's quite nice.
Yeah, I mean, keep your Oracles alive, Protoss. They will come in handy later on, almost guaranteed. Hallucinated Phoenix on the scout end, sees what's going on. Trap throws up a third base forward, and looks like Classic's going to take his third base down the bottom side.
Yeah, double Forge for Trap, so he's looking to go very upgrade heavy. Maybe expecting this game to go a little longer. No third from Classic just yet, though. And oh, he's actually going to have the probe be killed, so that's actually going to be a nice delay from Trap. Really,
yeah,
really nice.
Because Trap's third base is already, what?
Done.
Done?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge.
This is kind of inexcusable by Classic. So he's actually just going to be looking to put pressure on his opponent and be going for the kill. There's 2 Adepts, however, shading into the natural base, so that's going to deal some damage. Probes do go for a very nice surround to help deal with this as quick as possible. The battery also healing some of those, so that's a really nice cleanup by Classic. And he's actually got a massive army supply lead. Classic has just turned around and said, this series has gone on long enough, and he's going for the kill. Unpowers 1 gateway, tosses down some force fields, locking Trap out of his own base.
Hallucinated Colossus putting some work in here too. Always beautiful. And yeah, just kind of casually sitting around killing whatever he wants here. Trap, you gonna stop this or
No, his Nexus is dead. Classic's going into the main base.
Oh, there we go. Now going for the trap surround.
The Archon does break the force field, so the force fields aren't too useful for this. This is going to give Trap the potential to clean this up, but he is still down a significant amount of supply. Classic takes it.
God, heartbreaking for Trap. He's down 2-0 to start the series. Claws his way back, forces a game 7, and then drops the game 7. And just a beautiful timing attack there out of Classic.
Mm-hmm.
And man, we were bemoaning his lack of a third base, but you know, it didn't really work out. It didn't really matter in the end, did it?
No, I really liked that aggressive pivot by Classic. It was well done, and yeah, that was just good by Classic, able to close it out. Sometimes in these online best of 7s, we tend to have like a 4-0 or a bit of a wash, but these guys, they really tried and played their best. So well done to them.
Yeah, absolutely. We only had 1 stupid Phoenix game, and that's acceptable in my book. I'm okay with it. So, fantastic stuff. Thanks to everyone supporting the Matcherino link. If you haven't done it yet, go to the Matcherino, log in, super easy, and click the claim code at the right side, okay? Okay.
Yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. Do hit up that Matcherino on your way out. I'll post the link in chat there, and you can just use that claim coupon code. It adds 25 cents to the prize pool to the players for free. I'll be posting that as quick as possible and getting that over to the players. So yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. I hope you have yourself a wonderful day or afternoon or evening wherever you are, and check out Falcon Paladin and myself, LaughNgamez, on YouTube, on Twitter, as we post Starcraft pretty much daily on our YouTubes.
We sure do. Check it out. Been posting a lot out there, and follow us to know when the next event will be.
Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time in about 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.
Yeah. See ya.